What's going on, everyone? Welcome to this season gaming Bitcast, episode 147, coming to you this week on a lovely Saturday afternoon. And we have a big show for you today, actually. We've got a lot to discuss. We have an ID at Xbox showcase. We've got a Ghost of Tsushima movie, which I know Dan's hating, but we're going to talk about it anyway.
Can't stand it.
We've got Halo. We've got Battlefield. We've got Call of Duty. We've got updates on some titles coming later this year and a whole lot more to touch on. So we're going to jump into that in a minute. But first, my co-host, the man himself, Mr. 7. He always gives you all 7. Dan, right. Yes. What's happening?
I'm the gamer formerly known as Dan today. I just picked the Ankh symbol. It's the Ankh.
It's the what?
It's the Ankh, the Egyptian Ankh, I think it is. I think it's Egyptian.
Is that the Prince symbol that he used to use?
I couldn't get the Prince symbol to work.
Yeah.
Like, there's no typable way to get the Prince symbol. So I was like, well, this is close. Like, they had this, and then there was like a lot of weird crosses and stuff, and then some other stuff, and unfortunately, some Nazi stuff. And I was like, I can't put that on there. That's terrible. No. I'm going to be the artist formerly known as
please don't. Please don't.
So yeah, I went with this.
You know what's funny about it is if you didn't know better, right, and people don't watch us regularly, it almost looks like it's your little microphone indicator.
Yeah, it's just my name.
But all good. Also, joining us this week, returning guest and one of our favorites around here. I'm sure our audience knows him well. The indie gamer himself. What is happening, man?
All good, thanks, my friend. Always a pleasure to hang with you guys. Love what you do here. Second time on your channel, so absolute pleasure to be back, and I really appreciate the invite. As I say, there's been a lot of stuff going on in my realm recently. As you know, I've been trying to soak up as much. We did a reaction of the Future Game Show as well as the ID Xbox marathon, as everyone seems to be calling it.
We're going to talk about
we will be. But there's a lot of games featured. We'll get into that. But just trying to soak up that indie goodness as always. And really looking forward to chatting with you guys today about it. And I'm very interested to hear your thoughts on everything too. And obviously the other stuff we've got on the docket. But thanks again for having me, my friend.
Of course, no worries. And it's a very exciting time, especially for your outlet and what you love to cover. So there's an awful lot of games coming in that realm, in the AA, whatever you want to call it, indie space. So it's exciting. And I actually, I went through the notes here for the show, and we were talking about the big topics and ID at Xbox Showcase. And we've got the Future Game Showcase kind of recap on the site, which I'm going to have to pull up because I forgot to put it in the notes.
Nice. It's funny because they've gone past so quickly. All my attention was on Future Game Show, and then all of a sudden the ID Xbox takes over, and now it's like I can't even remember what happened at all in the Future Game Show. So it's a good thing you've done that article, to be honest.
Go ahead and pull that up on the side here because we need to talk about a few of the games. But
it was good as well. Actually, there was some good stuff in there.
Yeah, there was. In fact, if we're going to talk about formats, which we'll get to.
Oh, that's a great,
I'll take the Future Game Show format, please.
Absolutely. Thank you. I've been saying that, but we did the Future Game Show reaction last year as well. I've been saying that for ages. They started the Future Game Show last year, did 2 last year, and the format was awesome from the off. So there was some comments. Sorry if I'm diving into a little bit.
You're fine. Go for it.
There's some people commenting on Twitter. I was commenting. I was saying the games were great and. On the ID Xbox, but also the shame about the delivery and the packaging and the format essentially. Then luckily Chris Charlotte popped up in reply to one of my comments, and he said,
I saw that.
Which was pretty interesting. I'm really pleased to see he was actually paying attention. Obviously he's a legend, so he does like feedback and stuff like that. So it's good to see that he's looking out as well. But there was a lot of awesome positives, but there was also some things which I think could be addressed. I'm slightly going into it already, so I won't just do that. I will stop myself there. But interesting things going on with that regard.
So we've got a lot to touch on, and I've got a little rant to go on myself about that because I did post about it yesterday too, and people obviously knew what I was talking about. But anyway, we'll get to it. But first, I want to say what's going on to chat. Thank you for everyone who joins us live here. It's been great lately. We've had a lot of new faces showing up. I don't know what happened on the audio, but the listener count on our audio side had a fantastic week last week. So it's just been great seeing all the new people coming out, and I know you regulars are in the house, so we're looking forward to chatting with you today. Before we go kind of through the huge list of ID at Xbox and Future Game Show, and we'll kind of break those two down together, I want to talk about what was essentially kind of our lead topic this week, which is the domination of the fall lineup from first-person shooters. And this is one of those years that I think is going to be kind of – did I literally spell Battlefield wrong in the banner? I did. Yeah, that's good. See how prepared I am here. Yeah, I know.
2-bit show we're running over here.
I know. What is going on around here?
Gosh.
So, guys, we've got Halo Infinite coming in, almost definitely November, right? Almost definitely on the 20th anniversary of Halo CE. That's confirmed. We have near confirmation, not directly from DICE or EA, but pretty much everybody, including some of the development team who have posted on Twitter, that Battlefield 6 is coming this year. And we're going to share some of the details about these titles as well. And it goes without saying, they've already confirmed Activision has in their fiscal report that Call of Duty is coming this year as well. So I went back, guys, because I was thinking about this. I was like, it's kind of crazy that we're going to get mainline Halo, Battlefield, and Call of Duty entries all in the same year, probably within a month and a half of each other, if I had to guess, because Call of Duty is always October and November. Battlefield's going to be right in the same spot, and Halo's already November. So when you look at this, I actually went back this morning while I was writing up the notes, and I tried to find the last year that we had these three titans release at the same time. And the closest they've ever come to releasing in the same time frame was actually in, what do I have here, in 2010. So 11 years ago, when Bad Company 2, legendary game, by the way, one of the best Battlefields, if not the best Battlefield, released in March of 2010. And then you had Reach in September and Black Ops 1 in November. So that's a, 8-month span that they released in. We've never seen mainline Halo, Battlefield, and Call of Duty release within 6 to 8 weeks of each other, which I think is going to be absolutely ridiculous. So I don't know what your guys' thoughts on here. I mean, obviously I'll hold myself back from talking about Halo Infinite extensively, but the fact that we're getting these three giants releasing so close to one another, and that's before, of course, we get to any of the other major games that'll be releasing this fall, I think this is going to be one of those kind of falls to remember, if you will.
You think it feels like each one of these has their own fan base, right? Like there's those people that play only Battlefield. There's those people that play Halo, and there's those people that play only COD. Like, I don't know what the crossover is so much. I don't know if it's that big. Like once Halo comes out in whatever it is, November. Yep. I think some of these, whatever the first one comes out, obviously everybody's going to kind of jump on, assuming that
probably be Call of Duty.
Yeah, and that's a huge.
Nothing stops Call of Duty.
Yeah, nothing's going to stop it. So, and then once Halo releases, you'll have some guys kind of floating over to that, I think. And then once Battlefield, you're going to have just Battlefield always seemed like the outlier of these three to me, and it always seemed like it has a very, very dedicated player base, but it's also the smallest of the three. So they really need to do, they really need to come out and bring us a good game at the beginning. Strike when the iron's hot. You can't flub this up, especially with Halo and COD being so close. But it'll be interesting to see for sure. That's where I'll probably play. If I play any multiplayer, that's where it's going to be. It's definitely not COD. And I suck so bad at Halo that it wouldn't even I'll play when that campaign comes out, that's it. That's me for however long it takes to do. And that's going to be that, and that's it. I haven't seen anything about a Battlefield 6 single player anything. So
they haven't, not that I've seen. No.
Yeah.
So what's I think really interesting here, and sorry, Indy, I'll get your thoughts in 1 second. So there is the way these guys will be approaching this fall and how they sell these games. So Halo, for instance, we know the whole multiplayer suite is free to play, and it's now free to play on Xbox One, Series consoles, and PC. Right. So right on at launch, you're going to have a massive community playing that game. How long they stick around, what the retention rate is, who knows? But at launch, it's going to be gigantic. Meanwhile, the campaign, single player aspect, for people like yourself, Dan, that's not free, but it's on Game Pass.
Right.
And by the fall, you're going to be over 20 million subs on Game Pass. Again, on Xbox and PC. Battlefield now, unless they change the direction they're going, Battlefield has always been a full price release, more old school with the multiplayer, right? You get either campaign and multiplayer, whatever they do with campaign, and you get multiplayer in that. They have mentioned, or at least it's been mentioned, that there is a battle royale coming to this, a new one that'll be free to play, but not till next year. So we'll have to see what is there at launch, and if it's full $60, $70 release. To even play the multiplayer, because that will limit it, of course, versus Halo. Call of Duty is, again, also different in that this is Sledgehammer's release. The last full Call of Duty Sledgehammer did is World War II in 2017. And guess what? This Call of Duty is going to be World War II. So it's subtitled Vanguard right now. And as we know, Call of Duty is also a full price release. But right now they supplement that with Warzone, right? Which is a free to play battle royale. But how does a World War II Sledgehammer fit into what Warzone is today? We don't know. They haven't talked about it yet. So it looks like we have not only three different kind of user bases and player experiences, but three different ways in which they're going to approach the market, which I think is really interesting.
Yeah, that's true. I may not even buy Battlefield. I mean, I say that now, but
you're buying it. Come on.
I mean, more than likely I will. But I mean, I've always been more interested in the single player aspect of all these games, so that's always my thing. Like, if it's a multiplayer only game, I mean, at this point in where we're at in the hobby, like, I almost expect any multiplayer game that I buy to be free, because I maybe that's being super, cocky, I guess, but I mean, there's so many out there.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Pick up, right? Yeah, and with Halo, if I play multiplayer, I can play Halo if I want to. Battlefield's got to do something different, and maybe coming to a more modern era will do that. I've always liked the gameplay better than COD. I've always liked. Me too. It's always been better. There's just always been issues. Yeah, it's way deeper.
There's more to it.
A lot more you can do. It gives you more options. It's more accessible for other players that aren't maybe the best at shooting other people. You've got different options. You can actually gain levels by healing people or refilling their ammo or driving a tank or whatever it is that you want to do. I always feel that it's a little bit more accessible. It's definitely, I think, harder. It's less arcadey. It's more sim-like to me. I mean, not that it's obviously good at sim anything like that, but I mean, it just seems like you said, it's just deeper. So but there's so much out there now as far as like multiplayer goes.
That's free to play. Yeah, I mean, you've got Fortnite, you've got Apex, you've got Warzone. Right. Halo's going to be free to play. I mean, all the major players have moved that direction for multiplayer.
Yeah. So it's going to be kind of like,
yeah.
So the next Battlefield, is that going to have a single player campaign as well, or
they haven't mentioned it?
Yeah, we haven't seen it.
Because last time it was a bit of a sort of half-assed effort on the campaign factor, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. That's the interesting thing. In Battlefield 1, they did those stories. You remember those, where they did those like quick missions, which were supposed to tell a story of a individual person's experience in the war, which I think was cool.
It was cool, yeah.
But it doesn't have the same impact to me, at least, as a full campaign. Battlefield 5, in my opinion, Battlefield 5 is one of the worst mainline Battlefield releases they've had. It felt rushed. It felt tacked on. It didn't feel like a big standalone game. Whereas I think they're trying to get back to that huge release feel with Battlefield 6. And that's why it's all hands on deck to develop this game and finish it for the fall.
They would be good because they need to have, they need to be standalone individually, though. If they're going to release at the same time and they're all doing the same thing, trying to appeal to the same audience, then that's a disaster waiting to happen. If they've got unique ways of looking at it, like you said, alluded to, then maybe trying to appeal to a different like way of doing things. Like, but you know, like we had Titanfall 2 basically fail back in the day, didn't we? When that happened before, well, not fail, but it didn't meet its true potential. Which because now it's such a gem really that should have done better.
Yep.
And perhaps we haven't had a sequel because of that, you know what I mean, already. You know, we probably would have had maybe Titanfall 3 by now if it had done well financially, potentially in the first place. But yeah, it is maybe a silly move to release, probably definitely a silly move to release so close to each other, those to be in the same type of game. But you said they're going to be doing something a little bit different, did you? Or with the way the content is going to be soaked up? Is that what you said, Ains? Or
I was more talking about how they're approaching the release.
Oh, okay.
Because Halo has the benefit of going free to play for multiplayer, and then of course they have Game Pass they can fall back on for campaign. And of course you can fully expect a big collector's edition. You can fully expect a Series X or Series S custom Halo console. Though they're going to go overboard with Halo. You can bet on it. If Battlefield could potentially be, if Call of Duty does something where they integrate a new World War II theme or some type of mode into Warzone, right? You can kind of play some of that new experience in the free to play. But Battlefield could be the only one of the three that really is that old school pay $60 or $70 to get even the normal multiplayer.
And did Dan, you say you're more of a single player guy? So would you, if there was no single player in Battlefield, would you leave it?
Yeah, it would have
True
to be
answer
like
is no. He'll buy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting 10% off of it, I guess, right off the bat. You know, they usually have a trial for that too on, you know, Game Pass or EA Play or whatever.
Oh, they should. That's right, EA Play.
Yeah, you know, we should get a free 10 hours or whatever it is. Yeah. I'm assuming, but
yeah, that's true.
Who knows? Like it's all going to come down to, you know, first of all, if it does have a single player, I will 100% buy it. Not even an issue. If it's you know, multiplayer only, they have to show me what's different and what's better than everything else I can do currently for free. Like, it wouldn't be a bad idea to, I mean, you could do like some single player content. I think you can do it like the original Hitman did, where you can make it episodic. You can do it where you release different things, you know, down the road, if that would help you, or just move the whole game, you know, to get away from COD and Halo. Let that stuff calm down if you need some more time to develop it, because I'm almost guaranteeing you that game's going to release with issues, because it always does.
But remember, this is EA, and they've already talked about it being a big part of their fiscal year. So,
well, you know, that's,
you know how they do.
Stupid. Yeah, well, we know that. I mean, it's just, I just hope, you know, you see signs every once in a while that EA is like, you know, we're gonna back off a little bit. Nah, you know, until I see it like firsthand, and I go, you know, somebody from EA goes, you know what, we're not going to worry about that money right now. We want to bring you guys a great game. Then I'll believe it. But I don't know. I mean, I think they would probably benefit from it. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. You know, why would you release a game, say, right in the middle of Halo and Call of Duty? Nobody would, unless you're Red Dead Redemption.
But to your point, well, Rockstar is its own world.
Yeah, they just do whatever they want.
But you know, to your point, I think your earlier point is still valid, though. Is Battlefield does have a dedicated fan base. That fan base is hungry for a return to the modern setting, and a return to a full-fledged Battlefield release. Because I'm telling you, everything I've seen and read is that Battlefield 5 wasn't looked at as that. And I know some people like Battlefield 1, the World War I. I kind of liked it, but I know people have been starving for a modern Battlefield again. It's been a long time.
Sure.
Same way it's been a long time for Halo. Halo 5, by the time this comes out, will have been out 6 years. So it's, you know, people are hungry for that stuff. And I think, even though it's Call of Duty, even though it's almost guaranteed to be the best-selling game of the fall, as it always is. It is sad. But even despite that, I think, honestly, the one here that may see the biggest hit is Call of Duty, because you're doing World War II, which people are worn out on. This is Sledgehammer's game. That's not their top tier developer. They haven't made a game in 4 years, which was World War II. And I just think, you know, Warzone itself, as Dan kind of pointed out, it's awesome. It's Call of Duty, and it's free to play, and people love it. So it's not the same era, right? So if you love Warzone and you happen to think, oh, a new Battlefield's out or new Halo, and those are really different, so whichever one you prefer. But why would you go pay $70 for the new Call of Duty when you have all those other options right there? My point being, I think this Call of Duty sales will be lower than other entries, even though it might still be the best-selling game.
Right.
The thing is with these games is, I mean, I've long been out of I did play like Battlefield 5 through like EA Access when it was called that. It was, and I haven't played Call of Duty since Black Ops 3, I think. But yeah, like as you probably could have guessed that maybe, I don't know, but you might not have. But the way I was feeling, but yeah, I mean, it's not because they're tight and the mechanics are pretty, but they've been the same for so long. They need to change it up, is what I'm trying to say. Really, they need to bring something unique to the table. I feel all they're doing is switching between World War II and modern day World War II. You know what I mean? That's not enough, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They need to go back to the drawing board. I mean,
yeah. Let me hit some of these chats up too. Leo's in the house from our friends over at GBTP. I just recently played through Halo 3 ODST-M4. I just want to call that out because it's amazing. Leo and Bomber and the guys have not always been Halo fans, so we've been cheering them on as they've been enjoying Halo. So it's awesome to see guys even visiting Halo as old as they are now. Beard Batman, what's up, brother? Morning, gentlemen. Ainge, you all warmed up and loose for your match later. Don't worry, I will be. I will be. Yeah, that's a priority. We're going to be ready. Trust me.
Gonna be good, that is. I'll be watching.
Yeah, I can't wait. And Elu in the house. Knowing Microsoft, they'll probably have a big event where they show 8 minutes of Halo, then an hour and a half of cooking, fishing, and lawn mowing sims.
Well, they've set the bar low now, so you can
that's
show
what they
whatever the
did.
hell you want.
That entire show yesterday was to prepare you for 30 minutes of Halo, just to blow you away. And what's up, Rap? Good to see Enrique in the house. Good to see Indie Gamer Rap in the house.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate that.
Yes. Also, did Ains mention the special helmet he got from the challenge in Halo Reach? Yeah. So, on my stream of Halo Reach, there is a very old achievement you have to get, which is called not because you begged. I forget. We looked it up. I forget it now. But it's this really hard thing to do, and I did it on stream. It took me like 30 tries earlier this week. But you get this hilarious helmet, so pretty cool. Anyway, yeah. So one other point I wanted to make on this topic, guys, while we're on the FPS train, is people always ask me questions about Halo because go figure, right? It's almost like I talk about it here and there. The thing about Halo, as big as it is, and as big as I think free to play and Game Pass will help it, long term, I don't see the multiplayer Halo community being I never see it being as mainstream as Battlefield and Call of Duty. And the reason being, in my opinion, is that Halo is a very different type of game than those games. It's not a lone wolf game. It has different shooting mechanics. It's a team-based tactical shooter, really, even though it's an FPS. And I think if you watch any of the tournament play we've seen, and you compare it to Call of Duty is you can have great fun in teams, you can have a blast and all that, but you can singularly dominate in Call of Duty. In fact, it's a big part of the game, seeing people go like 30-5 and dominating. Halo, sure, you can do that. It happens. But if you watch any high-level tournament play or even kind of mid-level tournament play, it's a team game. The team who shoots better and coordinates better is going to win. Even if you have someone by themselves who's incredible, they'll still lose if they don't have the supporting cast.
I mean, just from watching this, sorry to cut you off, just watching this, I've noticed that myself. I don't watch those tournaments, don't watch much competitive play, but I've noticed Green Pass, I've been watching them quite a bit. They're coordinating. Sorry to give the secrets away, guys, but they're coordinating. So, yeah, you are definitely onto it there. You're gonna
I've
really interesting.
I've played it for 20 years, been in tournaments, plenty of them. I know the games inside and out. And on top of that, so you take that and then you factor in the shooting mechanics, which are different because in Halo, you're shooting to break a shield. And then you're doing a finishing kill, which, in Call of Duty, it's aim and shoot as fast as you can. That's what it is. It's aim and shoot.
Yeah.
And they're just
follow up, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, they're very different games, and the weaponry is different. So I never expect to see. There's a lot of Halo fans out there that have this mentality that Halo is the biggest FPS in the world up through Halo 3. And it only hasn't reached that status again because Bungie's not making it, and it's utter bullshit. That's just not the fact. It's the fact that Call of Duty evolved. Modern Warfare came out right after Halo 3, actually, in 2007. And it kind of took over because it's accessible, it's more mainstream, it's easier to be good at Call of Duty. And I don't mean that as a slight. You know, they still have pro Call of Duty players, but it's just it's easier for people to get into and play casually than Halo is. And you know, credit to it for that. But I don't ever see Halo maintaining the level of player base, consistent player base as Call of Duty will, or even Battlefield. We'll see.
I'll tell you one thing, I'm much more excited for Halo than I am for a Call of Duty or a Battlefield, I'll tell you that.
Well, I mean, come on. I mean, I see you're a man of culture.
Yeah, well, I know that'll make you a bit more happy to hear that, but that is the God's honest truth. Yeah, definitely excited for Halo Infinite for sure, but yeah, like they like these. The thing about these games as well, quickly, is like Battlefield and Call of Duty is they aim to hold the player's attention in, and with multiplayer they want you to stay and play a lot of like rounds of multiplayer for a good long time, like the Division or something like that. They aim to keep you in, and if they're all releasing at the same time and they're trying to keep you locked into their kind of ecosystem and playing their game, that is a bad idea in my opinion. If you see what I mean. That's why if it was like a 10-hour experience, solo, a story-driven game, they releasing around the same time, it wouldn't matter as much than releasing close to each other. Obviously, you just play one game a couple of days, and then next couple of days you move on to the other one. So that could be the problem with these ones releasing close to each other, in my opinion. But
yeah, and it feels like the campaign in Halo, regardless of what Call of Duty or Battlefield do, we know that neither Call of Duty or Battlefield are going to be open world. Single player campaign. Yeah. We know that they are linear story driven campaigns. Most Call of Duty campaigns you can beat in 4 to 6 hours. You can run through them. Whereas we know the Halo campaign looks to be a pretty broad experience, right? And so for people like Dan who don't, dabble in the multiplayer as much, you're still going to see playtime on Halo from people enjoying the campaign and possibly playing that for tens and tens of hours. So pretty interesting.
Definitely.
Yeah. So Bad Bit in the house. What's up, brother? Pong in the house as well. Thank you guys for coming out, man. What we got going on here? Shizno, Green Pass have some great communication. They're going to be tough. All right. You guys trying to get me ramped up ahead of time. Let's see what you're doing.
I get too cocky. Fine. We know you're a pro player and all that, Ains, so I don't think you're going to have any trouble.
We'll put that theory to the test. That's what I'm gonna say.
It's gonna be good though. It's be entertaining, definitely.
Yeah, it's all in good fun. I saw Pat out there talking some smack this morning, and it's all in good fun. We obviously don't take it seriously.
Right.
Who is on your team actually?
Oh, I'm competitive. I'm
sure.
But it's not like,
Yeah. You just gotta be Mr. Gentleman while you win.
Yes. You can be, there's a way to handle yourself. It's fine.
Isn't Dan on the team then?
Shit.
No,
God.
No.
Yeah.
No. Didn't you just hear me say I like to win?
Yeah, we would have made it past like round 1. They would have looked at the team like he's on your team? No, you're not in the tournament, bro.
The only way Dan could be on our team is if we could have 5 instead of 4 and I could hide him in a box the whole match.
Yeah. I could do like the color commentary, in the background. I could be one of those guys, but that's about it. And I wouldn't even know like where we're at half the time.
Oh my God.
He's in the machine gun looking thing, and that looks like a rocket launcher. I'm not sure why he's sniping with that pistol.
Yeah.
But all right.
Sniping with a pistol.
Ains's inability. So okay, we're not going to stay on this long. I promise. We're going to move on to the other. But I actually caught flack. You guys are, joking with me. I actually caught flack for the last 2 rounds because I don't talk enough shit. Which is, I can, but I do if it's friends. If we were playing against friends and I know them like person to person all night long, but I don't know Green Pass personally, and I don't know some of these people personally. So no, I'm not going to trash talk them.
Brilliant. Is the final longer than the rest of the rounds, or is it like snooker when that you probably never watch snooker in America? But
I know what snooker is. Yeah, I play.
Yeah, they play long rounds in the final or anything like that.
No, we're doing the same thing. It's best of. Right. So it's first to win 6 matches. The maps are already picked out. We've got everything set. So
cool.
Yeah,
nice.
4 p.m. Central today, guys, and I will be streaming it. So Check me out. Look, see, I was going to talk about this later. We'll get back to it.
Sorry.
Real quick. Gaming Gentleman in the House says, favorite Call of Duty campaign? I don't have one. I don't know if you guys want to comment on this.
Jeez, man. Probably the Call of Duty, like Modern Warfare, like the first one.
Yeah, Call of Duty 4. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Soap McTavish. Yeah. It was just good. Yeah. I mean, that probably was the one that I remember the most. But
I know a lot of people like Black Ops 1.
Yeah, I don't think I ever played Black Ops, like any of them.
Yeah.
I mostly play multiplayer, and I don't care for the Black Ops. I know that's actually the most popular multiplayer, that and Modern Warfare, but I don't care for the Black Ops ones.
Gotcha. Yeah, probably that one for me.
You got one, Andy, or you don't really?
Yeah, I'd say that's period. It kind of blurred a little bit, but like, Soap McTavish, like you say, and all gillied up, that mission. Which one's that in?
Yes, that's Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
That's the time I liked, definitely. Yeah.
HTK is right. Damn, that sniper mission near the Ferris wheel on Veteran. Playing that campaign on Veteran was rough, man. Rough. All right. We have talked about FPS. We're gonna get back to Halo tournament later. I promise. We'll mention it. And our friends over there at Game and Beyond the Box. We've even got Leo in the house here personally. And wait a minute, did Bad Bit come in here and boo me? What are we doing? Who invited this guy? I swear.
I think Luke took over his account.
Yeah, Luke took over his account. That's all right. You can find him at the PlayStation show at Room-Trophy.
Yep.
He's booed it in the official name of the trophy room as well. That's
yeah. I'm clipping that out and saying this is the type of support you get from these guys.
He's everywhere but Apple Podcast. So don't look for him there.
Don't get me started on Apple Podcast. We have our new show. We're up on Amazon, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I've tried to validate like 10 times. It fails. It's a joke. I can't stand Apple. Don't get me on a rant. Okay, let's move on to what we're actually talking about here. So we're going to talk about the ID at Xbox Showcase, and we're going to touch on the future game show as well, because there's a lot of games to talk about. And first things first, I'm just going to go ahead and kick us off here, guys. So I know I have a few things to say about this. I know, I actually have quite a lot of people at Xbox who follow me on Twitter. I have no idea if any of them watch the show. If they do, they obviously do it quietly, and I don't blame them with this crew here.
I would never admit
behind
that.
the account.
But if anyone is listening, I just want to say I think it's pretty widely accepted, and I don't want to make anecdotes here, but pretty widely accepted that format yesterday just wasn't it. There's a lot of good games to show off here, and I applaud the effort of trying to put a spotlight on smaller developers, right? Indie developers, people who are making new games, people who are, trying to make a name for themselves in the industry. I love that. Absolutely love it, and I think we need to do more of it. But when you're people like us who watch this show, or us who cover the games, or anyone who really kind of has a knowledge of what's going on in the gaming industry, and you turn on that showcase yesterday, and this is not meant to be offensive at the two main presenters there, because, they're streamers, they're doing their thing. I get it. But it was very, very obvious that they didn't know these games. They didn't know the developers of these games. They didn't truly have a big interest in these games. It was forced. And it was fake, and it's almost, I hate the word cringy. I hate it, so I'm not even going to use it. But it was, I felt almost embarrassed watching it. Like, it was uncomfortable for me as someone who covers these games, because it's like, you're turning me off of the game. And you've hired two people who you're obviously paying to do this, who are representing Xbox as a brand. And I know it was with Twitch, and there's other things that go on with Twitch. I get that. But you're representing Xbox as a brand, and you're doing so with literally no knowledge of what you're talking about. That drives me crazy. I cannot stand, and this is a personal rant, cannot stand watching people talk about things in the gaming industry that they very clearly have no idea what they're talking about. And we see it a lot. Now, I know I might not have been the audience for this show. I get that, I get wanting to spotlight the creators. I get there's a whole other factors I'm probably not accounting for here. But I think, like I said, it's pretty widely accepted that a 4-hour show or 9-hour show, it felt like, where, the majority of it is talking, and you spent 40 plus minutes probably talking about 2 games that no one has ever heard of before on your live show. It's just baffling to me. I don't get it. What was the point of that show? You've lost the plot. There's so many good games at ID at Xbox that you can show off, and you kind of did. If there's probably 15 minutes within those 4.5 hours of good gaming footage. But I think that's the point. There's so many better ways that you can do this. If you want to spotlight a creator or a new developer, do a spotlight like you do on the Xbox blog. I have to know that hundreds of thousands of people, if not more, read those Xbox blogs, and all sites like mine and others, right? They put them out there. Highlight them that way. You've done that with 12 minutes. You've done that with Song of Iron. You've done that with a bunch of games successfully. Why would you spend 20 minutes on a live show talking about one specific game that no one's ever heard of? I promise I'm going to stop in a minute. Why are there breaks?
Yeah.
Why are there breaks in a live show? What is even happening? Like, they went to break, and I'm like, who's breaking? And you come back, and they're sitting in the exact same spot, ready to talk again. I'm like, what? I don't know who put that format together, but it was. I'm telling you, that's, in my opinion, that's the worst gaming show from the big 3 we've had since we all went home for the pandemic. That was terrible, absolutely terrible. I don't even have anything positive to say about it. I love Chris Charla. I love ID at Xbox. I'm really looking forward to some of these games, which I promise we're going to get to in a minute. But that show was awful. Dan, I said State of Play, the recent State of Play that Sony did. I said, it wasn't a good show. They rehashed stuff. They didn't really bring me anything new. Jesus, I'll watch that show 50 times again before I ever watch this ID at Xbox show again.
You don't have to do what they did. It's the thing, you can do. I say this all the time, but I feel like they just try to reinvent the wheel when you don't have to.
Well, they try to be like hip or cool,
right?
And it's like you're missing the mark by a mile.
Right, like you either do, this is what you do. You either do like what State of Play has done, or like Nintendo Directs, where not necessarily what's in the content, but just that format. It's like, hey, here's another game we got from this person, and then you show the clip and maybe a small, developer, interview, or, what PlayStation did. I can't remember what the hell they call them, where they just sat down and talked to the devs. There's no reason, I know it's COVID and stuff, but you can still do that, instead of making it, the problem I've always had with Xbox's presentations, and I'm sorry to say this, I hate the people that do them. I just don't like the way they talk. And just their attitude, it's really weird. It's like they're like 50-year-old guys that are trying to be 20.
Well, no, this is what I'm saying. It feels forced.
Right. Yeah.
It's not just transparent and open. And they've had some very good shows in the past. They have.
Yes, they have. 100%.
Yeah. And I want to be clear before you continue. I'm not trying to interrupt you, Dan. I want to be very clear, because I think anyone who watches this show knows we love Xbox.
Yes.
We love Xbox. We cover everything Xbox does. Play on Xbox every day. We love it.
Anything else, probably. But it's the thing is, like, when they did their show with Phil, and when they did the Bethesda thing, I love that, because it was like very calm.
The roundtable was awesome.
The roundtable was excellent.
Yeah,
right.
Awesome.
And you can do stuff like that. You've got to bring in a certain audience, I guess. You're right. Maybe, like you said, we weren't the target audience, and I guess you can do multiple shows, but it just seemed like really, really weird. Like, I only watched like 15 minutes. Because I felt like I had to for the show, even after you warned me several times not to. I literally tuned in at one of the breaks, and I was like, crap, there's a 4-minute break, whatever. But just don't, you don't have to be somebody that you're not. Show the product, talk to the dev, and that's interesting stuff to me anyway. You don't have to show a ton of gameplay. I love the process, and I've always loved the process, like to getting to where you're at. Showing, and having that love for what you do, when they released that documentary on God of War, that was probably more interesting than anything that led up to it for me. Was just that behind the scenes
Finding
stuff.
Kratos, you mean?
Finding Kratos,
yeah. Great.
You know, it was just they continue to do it that way. Like, I don't understand why they like you said, maybe they're just trying to be hip. Maybe they're just trying to, you know, hit a certain audience, but at least educate your presenters. You know,
That's the thing. I said yesterday, if you're doing a state of play or a direct that Nintendo does, it's pre-recorded. So all you need to do is have your trailers and a narration, right? If you're doing a live show, for God's sakes, the people presenting have to be knowledgeable. I don't even, I'm about to go off again.
Do it.
If I'm one of those two people, and again, I'm not trying to pick on them, I'm really not. But if I'm one of those two people and I know I'm about to go in front of hundreds of thousands or millions of people to present on these indie games, right? Friday at Xbox. Weeks leading up to that event, I am reading every detail about every game that could potentially be shown.
You don't,
That's to me, that's a responsibility.
Yeah, if you don't do it, you're disserving them. Yeah. It's just a disservice to those developers. When you get on there, you're like, oh wow, look at that game. It looks really. Listen, you should have known what this game is.
Exactly. And you should have been able to see, when Ascent was shown, right?
Yep.
Because Ascent always looks good. You could have said, this one, I've been following this one for a while. It's from, Neon Giant, and at least provide some context. They're just like, oh, what's that cyberpunky game? I didn't like Cyberpunk 2077, but that looks good. And it's like, you're so out of touch with the game and the developers. It's embarrassing.
Weird, yeah. I mean, it's the thing is, who is responsible? And right, the one thing to say is that there are these kind of events that happen. You might not notice them on Twitch. I think I'll just quickly say, there's this thing called they do sometimes where these short showcases, and they're more low key. You don't tend to hear about them unless you really look out for indie games. There's something called The Mix, which who host indie games. They did something recently. It usually runs for like 3.5 hours or something like that, and it's very much sort of like laid back, and they deliver it at a sort of like casual pace. And I think that is what they were more aiming at. They didn't mention how long the show was going to be before the show was kind of like, when they announced it, they didn't say this is going to be an hour and a half packed full of indie games, over 100 of them, or they didn't say it'd be 2 hours. They, it just was a matter of, sorry, the dog's going nuts outside. It's really throwing me off. So they didn't mention that. They should have, sorry, I'm going to have to sort the dog out. You carry on talking. I was going to sort the dog out.
You're fine. I'll get to actually some of the comments while we're talking.
Brilliant, sorry.
Kim Osteen, we watched the show. Thanks, brother. Really appreciate that. That was several minutes ago because I ranted. I apologize. He said, you may not believe it, but I watched from East Africa and Uganda. That's fantastic. Thank you so much.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is very cool. We talked about this last week because one of our other viewers is way far away from us too.
He was also in Africa, no?
I think it might have been. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. Very cool. There are a lot of comments, guys, around basically supporting what I was saying. And I think there you go. Gaming Gentleman says, I really like professional format of State of Play and Nintendo Direct. It's quick, straight to the point, and very clean. And I think Dan's you've echoed those comments before. It's like, if you're just trying to show the games, then show the games.
Yeah, just do that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason for, I don't know,
too drawn out.
2020 wanting it up. It's just give us the information. I love if you just sat down and talked to the developers.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Informed.
Still, if you want to highlight indie developers, like I already said, I'm repeating myself, but I love that. Do that. But that yesterday was not the time or place to do that. You do that in other ways. So
exactly, yeah.
Sorry, Indy.
You carry on with the comments. Sorry, buddy.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I was just gonna say, HTK, good to see you, brother. He says disrespect. It is to me. Like, dude, I prepare. I told someone yesterday. I said, seriously, when I meet with my own team in my job at work, I prepare more than they were prepared. You know what I mean? And you're talking 50, 60 people. They're going in front of millions. Like, what are you doing? It just it angers me.
Well, that's the thing. I think they were going for that. I think that's what. You have
to make Ains mad.
They were going, maybe. No, they were going for, because what it was is we were doing the reaction show, and it felt like they were doing a reaction show, and we were doing a reaction show to a reaction show.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it did.
They were doing
thing.
the reactions, and that's what felt weird. It wasn't like we were reacting to the real show, and that is why it's completely superfluous to have them doing that. They were like that game. You shouldn't have to explain that game looks good. You should put the game there, and then it looks amazing, and people are going to like, wow, that did look amazing. You don't need someone going, that looked really good, guys. By the way, just make sure you know that looked good. You know what I mean? You don't need to be told something is good.
And without any context or knowing what the game even is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's very strange.
I think that is the problem. I think Xbox have handed it off to Twitch, and Twitch have done this whole thing pretty much with a slight bit of guidance maybe from Xbox.
Yeah.
And it's been like, and obviously they wanted to get their Twitch streamers some good time to get some follows in or whatever they call it on Twitch. I don't do Twitch very often. But yeah, like I think that is a big factor of it. They've handed it off, which they shouldn't have done. I think ID Xbox actually do quite a good job of showcasing usually. I mean, there was things in there that were excellent. Obviously, I don't want to be perfectly clear that I think the games showcase were fantastic, and some of the the like sizzle reels, like they always do an amazing sizzle reels, which are great sizzle reels. Yeah, and those you could see where Xbox have made stuff for Twitch and then said, right, here's the sizzle reel, you do that, and you can see when it cuts to those videos, you're like, yeah, this is great, and then it's like all of a sudden it stops pace, and then they're talking about something you don't need to talk about, reiterate it's something which you already know. Like, you don't need to know, like, and they're not even that insightful. I'm sorry to be disrespectful. I mean, they're great streamers. Like Slow-Mo Backslap was with me doing the stream, and he said one of the girls he knows, so she's a really good streamer. She does play quite a lot of indie games, but at the same time, they're not really giving much insight, and it slows the pace down, recapping and stuff like that. And the interviews of the developers, those were too long too, unfortunately. And I absolutely love developer interviews personally. I love going into that, but it's not the right place for that to go that deep. And it's like they hadn't ever heard of editing video over editing vocals over a video. You know what I mean? They could have had trailers running, and then like they did in the Future Game Show, like if you remember the first trailer shown, the one in the snow that was a bit like Firewatch, they had them talking over it and explaining little insights, and you don't need to go like 10 minutes talking about it. It felt like they were going around the houses. It felt like it was completely candid as well. Like they need to be able to quantify and account for the amount of time it's going to take. They should be recording the interviews in advance, and then they should be playing them into the whole structure of the show. It shouldn't be just like off the cuff. I guarantee they didn't know the timings for the whole show. Probably they
were taking breaks, so I doubt it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just it was crazy, really, to be honest. But like I say, I really want to reiterate. Obviously, the game's fantastic, and that's nothing to do with that. It's completely the format and the presentation of the actual show, which is a shame. Which
is a shame because presentation matters.
It does matter for sure. It's just a shame, in my opinion, that that's what people are getting caught up with. But then that is kind of their own fault for that. The Xbox, they're going to have to take it back into their own hands. So that is their own fault. But I'm just I have said I'm trying to encourage people to keep. I know it's been bad. Hopefully they'll fix it for next time. It's good that we force our feedback as well. But also remember that the games, don't let them take the blow, because there's some amazing games in there. Check out the Idea Xbox YouTube channel and also the Xbox channel, which have uploaded the content from this.
Yes,
and if
absolutely.
you want to check that out. So,
and we're covering it as well. So let's actually get to the games after a few more. Green Pass in the house. What's up, man? Good to see you. We'll be talking here in just a little bit. Mr. Badbit, Xbox market. All right, guys, let's piss off this bald guy named Ains. Why'd you have to have bald guy? What's that?
Nice.
You could have had that comment without bald guy. I don't think that was necessary. So.
Nice.
And Dano kind of proves the point here. I still remember watching soup being boiled for like 2 minutes. Which, kind of makes
there was no momentum. That's the thing, isn't it? It just kept. It felt like we're kicking up now, guys, and then it's like, right, we're gonna stop, and then we're gonna have a break, and then we're gonna come back. We're like, okay, if they come back, we've got to come straight back into a real good trailer light or something. And then they go back, and then they talk a little bit.
Then they start talking again.
Yeah, it's like I mean, you saw it obviously. So I don't like to keep digging it and slagging it off, but at the end of the day, it's productive. Hopefully that they will take it and not go down the Twitch route next time. I think because that is the nature of Twitch to do it that way. I feel like it's the candid approach. That's what they were going for.
Yeah, it's more to they're using streamers to highlight things. And as I said, I wasn't trying to be disrespectful to the streamers. They're probably fantastic streamers. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been there.
Absolutely, yeah.
But it was very clear they weren't, in my opinion, the right people to be talking about these games. Anyway, we'll move on. Let's talk about the games because there's some really good ones.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I've got a few listed here in our notes, guys. One I wanted to call out right away was the new game from Drinkbox Studios, which is the developers of Guacamelee. Nice. And they've made a few different games. They said they wanted to take their crack at a ARPG, and they're creating Nobody Saves the World, it's called. And this one, oh, that's not Nobody Saves the World. Sorry. This is Nobody Saves the World.
That is, yeah.
And this looked, in my opinion, to be one of the best games of the show. I absolutely loved the art style. I loved how they said that there's no, so we covered this on the site, but there's actually no leveling, no levels. How the game works is you play through quests, and your quests, you unlock different things. And over the course of the game, you can unlock tons and tons of different like creatures to play as and characters. And it just kind of gets deeper and deeper and deeper. And, you know, if you look at their resume from a game development standpoint, they're very strong. They've made very good games. So I don't know about you guys. And did you, any comments on this one?
I was super excited for the reveal of, I knew they said they were going to reveal a new game, didn't they? So I was like, yes, because Guacamelee games are really cool games and amazing art they do on them games as well. As you know, they are Metroidvanias. I was kind of hoping for a Metroidvania, but because I'm a fan of Metroidvanias, but it's kind of actually almost a slightly bit Metroidvania because it's got little elements, but it's different. It's not Metroidvania, but it's got these characters where you play as different kinds of characters to do different things in the game mechanics wise. Which is quite interesting.
Yeah, so the header here kind of gives you a hint. Like you can play as every one of those things shown on the screen.
Amazing, yeah.
Which is really, really cool.
That artwork, though, is just
absolutely
stunning, slightly different to their other artwork, but you can still definitely see it's their work because it's very much colourful, vibrant, and poppy, you know what I mean? It's their style, but they're going for a bit more like hand-drawn this time, I think. The other one was a bit flatter. I'm not very good on the technical art terms, but you know what I mean. It looks stunning to me, and the color they use, I always think that is phenomenal, and really excited to check this one out for sure. It's apparently it's an action RPG, and the character is interesting to me, and it has me very much intrigued to find out more. Definitely.
I'm excited about it. Dan, I don't know. I know you came into the show late yesterday, so as I go through these, you can give me a nod if you want to. You want to add anything on this one?
That one, it just looks cool. I mean, I love Guacamelee. I love Guacamelee too. Mm-hmm. You know, those are fun games to play. We'll see how they do. You know, I'm like, and I've never been like a big indie guy. I just never have. And it's just, you know, I usually find one or two here and there that are like, they really, you know, grab a hold of me and kind of pull me in. And there was, like Pathless. You know, and the Ascent looks really good. You know, I know we'll get to that. There's a few of them on there that looked really, really interesting to me. You know, but you know, for the most part, you know, it's one of those. I basically went back and watched the trailers, like you suggested, actually. Yes. So I was just like, okay, I saved you. Yeah. I had 15 minutes, and I was just like, I can't do that.
All you needed.
that was long. And I was just like, man, that was crazy. So, but yeah, I mean, it looks good. I think, you know, hopefully it'll, you know, come out here soon. Sorry.
By the way, someone in chat, one of the comments I missed, and I'm sorry whoever said it because it's back up there now, but said you could have watched the Snyder Cut in the time spent watching the Idea at Xbox showcase. And Elu said the Snyder Cut wasn't designed to lower your life expectancy, though.
I have to admit, after streaming all of it, my back was hurting being in the chair. You know what I mean?
You guys did that live reaction. Like I was trying to cover it from an article perspective. I gave up at one point. I was like, I'm done. Like I can't. Can't keep up with this. But anyway, we're not going to dive back into it. Let's talk about the Ascent. Let's talk about the Ascent, because the Ascent was already probably my most anticipated game in the ID at Xbox family right now. Looked fantastic yesterday. I mean, the trailer they showed. You know, when they show new trailers for games like this, I really hone in on certain things. And if you've watched this trailer, there was a moment about halfway through it where they walk into what looked to be like a restaurant or a bar. And one of the guys either fired a shot or threw a grenade. And like every enemy and character inside the bar basically like scattered and all hell just broke loose. And the explosions and the particle effects and the lighting. I mean, just this game really, really looks like a standout to me. And I think,
Oh yeah,
if it what it needs to succeed, in my opinion, I think it's going to succeed no matter what. But if it's deep, right, and you can invest time into it, and it has a proper some form of end game where you can continue to build out your character, continue to find loot, that the typical thing you see from an ARPG, right? If you can continue to do that with your friends in this 4-player co-op, this game has a very, very bright future.
Oh yeah, that's a very good point, actually. Yeah, because it's so, it looks so special. Maybe I'll let Dan go on this one because I went first last time. Do you want to go on this one?
No, go ahead, man. This is why you're on. Talk about the Ascent.
Yeah,
I don't have a whole lot to say about it. I think it looks awesome, and that's it. I mean, it looks like one of those games. Like, to be able to pull me away from, a big AAA game and stuff like that, it really is going to take something, special. And for me, I mean, I know that's your kind of wheelhouse. So this is one of those games. This and the next one we'll talk about. Those two games are going to be like the big ones that are going to draw me in for sure.
Awesome, that's good to hear. Yeah, I mean, like, it's amazing. So many people can't even believe it's an indie game and all that stuff.
Right.
I always say, what do you mean by that? No, I'm joking.
Yeah,
but 11-person
some
team.
people do take indie game moniker as being a bad thing, and I hate that.
I know. Yeah, that's what I mean by that. Well, thanks for understanding it, Ains. I love it. Yeah, no, I mean, 11-person team. They are ex-AAA developers who have worked on Doom and like Wolfenstein and like Gears of War. So you can see how they've earned so much experience in the industry, and then decided they want to do their own thing and make their completely of their own project of their own, which is so cool. They're amazing studio, Swedish studio, and so much talent. It's amazing. But yeah, this new trailer though, for me, just a quick plug. I did a video on the Ascent, just in case you haven't seen it. Everyone check out on my channel at some point. Obviously not now, but later maybe. But yeah, I've done a video on the Ascent, and like, based on this new trailer, I feel there's a step up actually. Quite a bit of polish over the last time, because I've been looking at a lot of Ascent footages. That's why I'm saying I've got quite an eye on it, because I was looking at a lot of video footage editing and stuff. So I've had quite a lot of looks. But yeah, I feel like it's stepped up from the last time. It just feels more like punchy, and it was good to get a focus on the four-player co-op as well. In what this trailer was focused around, I do believe. And yeah, that's going to be so good. That's one of my favorite things about it, that it's going to have that 4-player co-op thing. I know a lot of people were interested in the loot side of things, and that is definitely interesting to me too. There is going to be looting in the game of different level-based loot as well, which is cool. So
let's talk about it.
Yeah, that's your scene.
That's my wheelhouse. Give me that loot. That's what I mean, though, right? Like, when you build an ARPG, the longevity of it, and I don't mean this just for me, but being able to continually strengthen your character and have harder challenges, it's fundamental. If you hit end game in 20 hours, and then it's literally, you can just run through anything in the game, there's nothing new to find, the game will die. Well, not die, but you know what I mean? There won't be any continual play. But if they do the loot properly and character building properly, this game has endless potential.
Yeah, it really does. It just looks so fantastic, and the world they're building, it just feels like really fleshed out, and
it does.
Like, it's just mate, it just stunning. The lighting is just incredible. The combat feels like it's punchier. Like I was saying a minute ago, I felt like that was the only thing that was lacking for me a bit more. Maybe a little bit earlier on the other trailers, they felt a bit soft, if you know what I mean. I don't know if you remember that.
It now looks like it has more impact.
It does. That's what I mean. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I'm pleased to see that. I mean, that can just be down to good sound effects and stuff like that too. So, but yeah, it definitely feels like it's coming together so well, and quite a bit of variety in the color palette of the environments. Love the verticality in the game, and the world of Veles. I love the fact that you're playing in sort of this corrupted world as well, where you're sort of trying to, you treat as an indent who's kind of like it's like basically everything's gone wrong in the world and it's corrupted, and you're trying to sort of like take the opportunity to survive and things like that. But there's corrupt sort of people sort of cutting in and trying to take over in their own way. I love all of that, but the cutscenes look amazing as well, which is a strange thing to bring up, but they really do. Just the whole game looks so polished, and I just really can't wait to jump into it. Really.
No, I'm with you, and let me sidestep for a second. Pampa came into the house with a $10 super chat like 15 minutes ago or 20, almost half an hour ago, but it was while I was ranting about the ID at Xbox show and I missed it. So Pampa, I'm very sorry. Hey gents, awesome to see the Indie Gamer. Hope everyone has a great Saturday. SG, kick ass and win it all today. Time is ticking. Hit the like button. So Pampa, thanks so much, man. Sorry I missed that when you sent it. I was in another world of anger momentarily, so apologize for that. And then Mo, I just saw in the house as well. We got Leo, we got Jordan, we got Walt, we got, oh my God, you guys are all in the house. Really appreciate coming out. Mo, sup fam? Hope you all will have a great day and fantastic show. Purple is definitely Dan's color. He gives you a solid 7, Dan. You nailed
That's all I need.
That's a perfect score.
It is a perfect score. Perfect score.
Hey, yeah, shout out, good enough in the gaming world, though.
Shout out to Mo and Mike, and Backlog Chronicles. I was supposed to be on the show last night. I had an emergency with the wife, and I apologize, but I think we're doing it again Sunday.
Tomorrow night.
So, yeah, should be fun. So,
awesome.
Thank you for rolling with the punches because she was in a crappy condition. It was, some of the stuff was funny, though. I mean, I always find humor in everything. So, even though we were at the emergency room, she was like,
Well, you might want to preface this by she's fine now.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Dress shopping.
It's a really funny story.
She's out dress shopping with her sisters now, so she's good to go. Everything is fine. All good.
There you go.
But
you were going down. She was in bad shape. We were at the emergency room. You never said she was fine yet.
That'd be some dark humor, that would.
If she wasn't, I probably wouldn't be here today. But
that's
she's
true.
Good to go. Yeah.
But yes, so thank you guys. Always appreciate the support.
Yes.
Pampa said he's working extra time today. One of his employees is out. He wasn't going to be able to come by the show or the championship. Still stops by. Still gives a super chat. He's out of control.
He's out of control.
Appreciate it. All right. Next, 12 minutes. Has been a favorite of mine since it was first shown. I was actually in the crowd because it was shown at the 2019 E3 conference, and we were all like, what is this? And it's been a game we've really paid close attention to since then. I actually spoke to the developer via DM earlier this week. So I think based on, he even said it yesterday that this game is very, very close. It's literally in the final stages. It's definitely coming soon. If you don't remember 12 minutes as you're listening to this or watching this, this is the game where it's an interactive thriller where you basically have this top-down view. And
hold on, wait a second. Is that Agent 47?
It does look like Agent 47.
What in the hell is happening? This game just won the game of the year. I was already excited about it.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, God, that's funny.
I've never heard anyone say it, but I've been thinking it for a while.
I didn't even realize it does look like him. But all-star cast from a voice acting perspective and a very unique premise in this game as well. We do have the updated article with some of the comments from yesterday up on the site, so please check it out. But this game definitely looks to be a standout, and just super, super excited for it. I don't really know what else to say other than I just can't wait to play it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. It looks awesome. And
meanwhile, Elu's in chat saying that interview went far longer than 12 minutes.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
Willem Dafoe is voicing one of the characters. Yeah. Yep.
Is it just Daisy Ridley, the other one?
Daisy Ridley. Yep.
Yeah.
And James McAvoy.
And James McAvoy,
perfect.
that's right.
Yeah, it's going to be
fantastic.
Awesome. And those are one of the indie games that I've been waiting for a long time. Says it's probably coming out pretty soon. So awesome. Let's do this.
I think that, we got to see that soon for sure. It was, delayed at the end of last year, along with The Artful Escape, and also
which we didn't see that one yet.
And I have a theory on that actually. If you don't mind, quickly diverting for a few seconds, because Artful Escape was one of the games I really hoped to see yesterday because I'm really excited for that game. Love the music, and the whole sort of psychedelic theme, and the fact the developer used to be a rock star and he's gone to be developer now, and he's
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Well. Super cool. He's played in a band and that in Australia.
So that's why he's all into the
If you have a look on the Annapurna YouTube channel, there's a really cool developer walkthrough, which is the kind of thing which we should have seen yesterday. A 4.5-minute video or something, and he was talking over the game, and he just really sells it big time. And that's the kind of thing we should have seen in there. But anyway, I'm diverting all over the place right now. But yeah, it's really cool to check that out on the Annapurna YouTube channel for the Artful Escape developer dive or whatever, developer walkthrough. But what I was going to say was the theory of it not being there, because I think it would have definitely been there because it was delayed at the end of last year with 12 minutes and also Last Stop, because they're 3 Annapurna published games that are going through the ID Xbox program. But yeah, it's also been confirmed for Apple Arcade. You're going to hate this one, Ains, as you hate Apple. But Apple Arcade. So I have a theory that Apple Arcade may be saving the release date reveal or something for one of their events or something like that. You know what I mean? I just think because it's so strange that it wasn't there and it's on the run up to release. It's very much nearly there. That's why.
That's a shame.
It's a shame it wasn't there, but I have a feeling they may have tried to, because that's quite a good one that they've got on the cards that's coming up. But yeah, you're eating that one pretty bad. Yeah. But you don't want to
drives me crazy.
It might be completely wrong, but
yeah, no, I've ranted once already, so I won't do it again.
Yeah.
By the way, Steve and someone else, I did not. I missed highlighting your negative commentary about Cyberpunk 2077. So we're going to skip right over that. Ascent looks good, but. All right. Pace yourself, okay?
Ascent's better than 2077 any day. Oh, I'm off the cast.
It hasn't even come out yet.
What is happening? Why hasn't even come out yet? Who's the host of this damn show anyway?
I didn't say that. Cancel it. Delete.
All right. Anything else on 12 minutes you want to mention?
If you don't mind, I'll just quickly mention that I wish we'd have seen a bit more of it yesterday, to be quite honest with you. It wasn't anything new. It was I actually watched a interview there was half an hour a couple of days before that, so I was very much already satisfied for what I knew about it. That's personal, obviously, but the interview should be much shorter, a minute long maybe, or like minute and a half, like getting to the real good points, edited maybe, or something like that. But yeah, 12 minutes, I think it won't be very long until it comes out. And I think he was reluctant to obviously say when a release date is, because often like these developers, they want to get the game actually ready before they say, now it's coming out in a month's time with in indie world 100%. Sort of thing. So that's what I think. You never know, it might even come, we might get this is hoping obviously maybe in a month's time, we might get a release date announcement for a month later. So it could be very close, guys, but it could be a little bit longer, obviously too, but I don't think it will be too long.
No, my guess is probably late summer. He's going to want to beat the fall rush, so I'm guessing probably August, somewhere in there, if I had to take a swing.
He's been working on it a long time, that game. In 2015 it was actually shown first time and it was very bare bones then. It's been a while, so 2019 was obviously the big reveal, but at E3.
Yep. A couple others to mention here on ID at Xbox. So obviously Among Us, everyone knows that game, we don't need to talk about it, but they're ramping up to that release, which is going to be cool. There's a game called Quantum Error out there, which first person shooter, looks really solid, looks to have kind of a mix of from some other games. It's got some Halo elements, it's got some Titanfall elements, it's got some different things looking in there, and
horror, isn't it?
It looked to have a little darker tone to it. And it also has there is it's made by a group called Team Kill Media, which is a news studio made by some industry veterans out of Wyoming here in the States. But there is an update from Xbox on that today, which has some more information. So if you're interested in that one, you can check it out, including like 14 minutes of gameplay, which is cool.
Nice. Yeah, I thought you meant that. Check that out, actually. Yeah, that game was really cool. It's got good atmosphere. There you go. Bad Bit says the developer said they wanted some Dead Space vibes, so there you go. They said that as well. I was just about to say it's got Dead Space vibes, actually. They've definitely got that in there, I think. It's got that kind of slow kind of feel to it, which is, I think, there for a reason. It's the pace of the combat. It's not like, obviously, a Call of Duty, it's first shooter speed or anything like that. It's quite slow, isn't it? But for the reason of just building suspense, I think, and tension in the game, because I think that's what they're going for. But yeah, it looks really cool. Like I love, Dead Space is one of my favorite games. So anything that's got a slight hint of that in it, then that is really cool by me.
It looks good. One that jumped out to me, and I just love the look of it, is Echo Generation. And I did pay attention to this when they first showed it a while ago, and it looked even better yesterday. And this one has some really cool vibes to it. It's kind of a squad based, kind of like a mini role playing game, but it has the vibes of like you as a kid with your friends, almost like Stranger Things, sort of. Yeah. And they specifically called that out. While it's got this kind of really cool art style, which has some pixelated look to it, but it just looks really neat. Like you're in this town. Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm cutting you off. Sorry, I'm so really sorry. You carry on.
No, you're fine. I was just going to say,
my
it's
excitement
just
always brims over too much.
It's got this squad-based approach, and you'll fight, monsters and mechs and other stuff, and it gives you the vibes of kind of that childhood group up with your friends and use your imagination type thing, and it looks really, really cool.
Definitely, most definitely.
Dan's like, no. So Andy, go
not
for it,
you,
man.
my friend.
Like,
I was about to say, did you want to talk
if
about
it wasn't the Ascent or 12 minutes,
Ah,
that's about all I was at.
fair. Or the Pathless.
Yeah, nice stuff. I watched like 5 or 6 different videos, but then I was just like, yeah, these two are the ones.
Are you trying to tell me you don't want to cook some virtual soup?
I don't even know what the hell that means.
Or most of them virtual.
They spent
lawns.
about 20 minutes with a developer out of Vietnam showing a soup cooking game.
Right on. Glad I missed it.
And no offense, as we said, no offense to the developer. The game could, hey, we've seen those simulator games do very well. So the game could be great.
Come on now. Come on.
Yeah.
They have. You think I'm kidding? Like Surgeon Simulator has sold
Surgeon
millions of
Simulator's a good
copies.
choice.
Well,
Yeah.
yes, that's that one for sure. Especially when they released the VR component, I'm sure that helped out too.
That's got the comedy factor to it, hasn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Hey.
who's going to jump on a lawnmower? I mean, and,
By the way, the lawn mowing sim is in. If you're an
Yeah.
Xbox Insider, you can get into it right now. You can sign up.
Ains
for
has
it.
been up. He's going
listen,
to
I've
cancel the
actually
Halo thing.
worked on lawnmowers. Like,
Oh, nice.
really worked on them. So I'm not even sure I'd want to do that.
But again, I'm telling you, we joke about this stuff. Look at freaking Farming Simulator. It sells millions and millions of copies.
Oh yeah,
There are
humongous.
so many simulators out there as well
It
on
just-
Steam. Like there's PC Builder as well. Like you can build your PC in a game. It's so random. There's a car mechanic as well.
Oh my god, yeah.
There's everything.
I could actually like a car mechanic one if it had real cars and you could actually learn something from it, right?
Right.
It would almost be like an
What is
Ultra-
lawn mowing simulator though? I mean, that's what I don't understand. Like, what do you try to like mow in like a straight line? And so like
It's
you,
a bit
you
weird.
stripe everything right. You make sure you don't hit a rock or chuck a piece of rebar through a school window or something. Because I've never seen that happen before.
It's becoming the bug snacks of this event, I think.
yes, pretty much.
Let's just cool your jets on these simulators. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Podcast simulator. Let's do that. We'll do that. That's the next one.
Let me call up Bizzle real
Definitely.
quick. Bizzle in the house, $10 super chat. Thank you so much, man. Have to cut out and get some work done. No worries. Have an amazing rest of the show and kick some ass in the tournament tonight. We're on it. I'll try to make it for the stream. Excellent. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks as always, brother.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, that's not, it's just not my game, I guess.
That's fair enough. No, yeah, it's quite a niche audience. Just quick, Echo Generation that you brought up.
Yeah. Let's get back to the game we want to talk about.
If that's all
Okay,
right.
what's that?
The visuals on that, in my opinion, look stunning. I'm not a massive turn-based combat kind of guy, which
Okay.
it has got, I do believe.
Yes, it
but
does.
I get into it sometimes. Like one of the games that were featured in the Future Games show is Chris Tales, which has got turn-based combat. Do you know that one? That one's really, really nice. I've played that demo of that actually. It's Richie actually really enjoyed the turn-based combat in that. But yeah, Echo Generation. I love the. It's kind of like voxel, like art style mixed with mixed with pixel art at the same time or something. It's very clever, I think. It's got a really nice sort of like feel to it. Definitely brings me in on the art style alone, and I love that vibe like you were talking about. That's a really good point about it sort of being, maybe is it a coming of age story or anything like that kind of, or is it just kids sort of like vibes? Would you say? Do you know much about the actual story?
No, they did actually mention Stranger Things, and it just has that childhood with your friends kind of nostalgic feel to it, if you will. Yeah. Which is cool to me because I was one of those guys fortunate enough to grow up in a neighborhood of townhouses. We didn't have a lot of money, but what we did have was a really fantastic core group of kids there that I mean, I'm in my 40s and I still interact with them. Even though we don't live near each other, we separated in our teens, but I still talk to some of them.
That's so cool.
So it gives that vibe off, which is cool.
It definitely does. Yeah, I would definitely check it out. Is that one Game Pass? I'm not sure if that one was. It might.
I did have the list. There's 20 games that were shown yesterday that are going to be Game Pass launches, which is awesome. I don't have the list in front of me right now. If anyone does, because I actually just sent it in chat to some people earlier, but if anyone does, I don't know if Echo Generation is launching.
Actually, I might have it. No. Oh no, they've got the link to the video. Don't worry, it's all good.
Oh.
I can tell you quite a few that are in Game Pass. But
we have the best super chat of the day from Mo. Ains, you don't look a day over 25.
you
Shut
do look good
What's
for
up,
someone that age. I have to say. I'm trying to win you back now because I was about the thing I said about Cyberpunk.
Is keyboard autocorrect or something?
You meant to type 55 and it's screwed up.
I'm totally meant 45, but
Love it.
The only other one I want to touch on before we get to the other games is just the Dark Alliance ARPG that's coming. Dungeons and Dragons. It's made by Tuque Games out of Montreal. It looks good. I don't know. Again, it's an ARPG. So anytime it's an ARPG, I need to understand your loot system, your character system, etc. But Dungeons and Dragons always fun. Dark Alliance is one of my favorite kind of factions within Dungeons and Dragons. And hey, man, 4-player co-op ARPGs are. You grab some friends; they're always fun to some degree. So, looking forward to checking that one out too.
Nice. That's not one I've got a lot on. I have to say, I can't even remember that one. To be perfectly honest with you,
No worries.
The only ones I think I can't.
So, a few others we did want to talk about on the Future Game Show, which were shown there. A couple big ones, right? So, Kena was shown again. New footage on Kena Bridge of Spirits coming to PS5, PS4. I believe it is cross-gen, right?
Yes, it is. Yep. It is PS4 as well. Yeah, there's some cutbacks on like the rot, the little creatures in the game, which won't be featuring as much in the PS4 version and stuff like that. But
yeah, that's expected, right?
Yeah.
But that's coming in August. It is a timed exclusive on PlayStation, I know, but it looks. I mean, I know we've talked about that game before, but man, it looks so good. It looks like, especially on the PS5, it looks like a Pixar movie. I mean, it just looks freaking incredible, and it's coming at a great time too. August release. Fantastic. Give us more of those because there's usually early August to kind of mid-September is really dry. So the fact that Kena is coming right in there looks awesome to me.
Most definitely. Kena looks fantastic. Yeah, obviously they've got that background of being what's that animation studio previously, haven't they? And they made that film on the Zelda. That Zelda feature, I don't know if it's a feature, a short film, maybe fully like Pixar style film. I don't know if you've checked that out, but it's pretty damn impressive. But yeah, like the fact they move into the games and the game looks just so fantastic in general. Like it just looks so charming. I love the fact that all of those, like I say, the rot, the little black creatures, they're really charming and cute, and they all are individual as well. They have like individual traits about each one of them apparently. Love that. And yeah, the combat looks fun. I'm sold on that game for sure.
Yeah, good one. I know, Dan, we've talked about that quite a bit. I know you're in on that one.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they might be actually. I would have guessed Dan would have gone in on that one.
Judzilla, what's up, man? Good to see you in the chat there. We got the first footage for Lord of the Rings Golems. Did you guys check this out?
There's actually gameplay.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Good,
man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely a stealthy kind of game. So here's the thing though. I never went like, man, I really need a Golem game. You know what I mean? Like it was just one of those things. It was like, nah. But maybe I didn't know I needed a Shadow of War either. So we'll see what they do.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It does seem kind of weird to be playing as Gollum, but to your point, who knows if they pull off kind of a stealthy aspect and a creepy aspect, and they put some strategy in how you approach levels, I think it could be quite cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you're playing as a fox in Tunic. You're playing as a crow in that new. I don't know if you saw the Death Store announced as well on the Idea Xbox. That looks a bit like Tunic, actually.
What was it called? I'm sorry.
It's called Death Store.
Yes, I did see that actually. I watched the trailer for yesterday.
Amazing. That's coming from Devolver Published. That one.
Yeah,
that one is probably one of my favorites. But yeah, you're playing as that's what I love about indie games. You can sometimes see the most bizarre things, and you're like, oh, you're playing as a crow, and then oh my god, this game's amazing. You know what I mean? Or you're playing as a fox.
You definitely see more creativity. And I think, not to get us off track, but I think that's what I do love about the ID at Xbox and just the potential of Game Pass. And I think Joe and Luke and I might have touched on this the other day, but the creativity that Game Pass allows developers to make. And we even had Arcane, of all publishers or developers, come out this week and say that now being part of Xbox and Game Pass is going to allow them to continue to be creative, because we know their games prey. We always talk about Dishonored 2, Deathloop's upcoming, right? They push the boundaries a little more from AAA development, but they don't always sell the best, and that can be troublesome for a big developer. So indie games kind of have that in spades, which I just love to see.
Yes, me too. Great, well said.
We got Sifu. We got more from Sifu.
That's my game of the show, that one.
Oh, okay, great. I'm glad I mentioned it.
Definitely.
Because it just looks awesome, right? I mean,
oh yeah.
How can you not want to be a kung fu master? And just the combat looks just so like the momentum, the animation of and the feeling we said earlier about the sense of impact. It just feels like or looks like it's kind of got that feel, which is awesome.
Most definitely. Yeah, Sifu looks amazing. I'm really intrigued by the fact that they're doing like when you get knocked down, you then age a little bit. I don't know if you knew about this part.
Yeah, if you die, they said you age. Do you know any more about how that mechanic's supposed to work?
They're avoiding the question a lot when they're being asked it at the moment. Okay. They say, well, we're not, but my speculation, and I think it could definitely be right. I mean, I'm not just saying that I'm always right on a thing, but I'm just saying I feel this has got to be it. It's me and Luke still were talking about this when we were watching it. We said it's got to be a roguelike. Surely they keep avoiding, saying roguelike though. You know what I mean? But I think when I think you're going to build up powers and be able to go further into the game. So like you're going to start and maybe you'll get so far in and you'll take maybe 5 deaths till you die or something. I don't know. then you start again and maybe you've gained some sort of special move or something on the route and then you're able to carry that across or something and then you become stronger and stronger, maybe make further into the game. I feel like it's a roguelike. It might not be. They do say there are some sort of like Souls-like kind of elements. I guess that can...
Okay. You just made Dan's day.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, look, I was excited when I first saw Sifu, but if you're talking roguelike and stuff, I'm that game. I mean, I can't play that genre because I suck so bad at it. You know what I mean? It's just I hope they don't do that. I don't know.
I don't believe you.
I think they should make it hard and add some Souls-like elements.
Yeah, just accessibility.
You're hardcore. You've got this.
No,
I mean, I love martial arts in general, so it's really up my street. I spent my youth watching many Jackie Chan films like Drunken Master and all that stuff.
Yeah,
so this is right up my street.
Awesome. By the way, Elu got the zinger for yesterday. Death's Door should have been the title of yesterday's show. Elu was killing me in the chat yesterday, dude. His commentary. Judzilla, by the way, you said you want the Ascent now. We actually talked pretty extensively about the Ascent before you joined us. So if you go back and watch just probably 20 minutes, 30 minutes prior to when you jumped in, we talked about the Ascent for sure. There was one more game. I mean, Dan, I want to talk to you about this game. I know you're going to like it. It's called Life is Strange. You ever heard about this?
I have no comment.
I'm kidding. So there, in all seriousness, guys, we have a full recap of the Future Game Show on the site with a bunch of different trailers, games, kind of highlights. I mean, there was a new Warhammer game, Chris Tales, which you mentioned. Axiom Verge 2, which a lot of people pump for, was shown. Martha is Dead is a really interesting one, in my opinion. And we did get more Back 4 Blood footage as well, or gameplay. So please check that on the site if you want to. There's a summary there, and we are covering individually some of the bigger indie games or more interesting indie games that were shown at the Idea at Xbox Showcase as well. So a lot to cover. We're getting to it. But yeah, indie, I know that this is your wheelhouse, like we said. So before we move on real quick to the Ghost of Tsushima movie topic, which we're going to talk on, any other game that you really want to shout out while you're on here from either of these two shows?
I appreciate that. Very kind. I mean, I definitely would like to shout out, well, at least one. Yeah, if that's right, just real quick. I definitely want to shout out Art of Rally, which is an awesome racing game. Which it's been on PC. I've been playing that for about a year, I think, or something like that, and I've been streaming it, and I did a review on it. And every time in my comments or when I'm streaming it, people are always saying, "When is this coming to console? Is it on console?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, guys, it's just on PC at the moment." PC, but then at the same time, I understand not everyone wants to get a PC.
Yeah.
And now there's the time for you guys to enjoy it because it's such a damn good game. Art of
And
Rally,
I think it's Game Pass too, right?
and it's Game Pass. That's exactly right, my friend. Yeah, it's coming in the summer to Game Pass and Xbox. But yeah, it's such a good game. Shizno Elite in the chat. He's one of the guys that were asking me many times about it. Actually,
Okay.
He cannot wait now. So yeah, no, definitely really pleased to see that it's going to be on Xbox as well, so many people could enjoy it, as it's been a phenomenal game. I think it's sitting at overwhelmingly positive on Steam, so it's done very well too. I'm really happy to see that. But yeah, the developer is an awesome guy and pretty much a solo dev, and yeah, it's an awesome game. The mechanics of the game feel so great. It's got a cool like low poly art style, cool lighting, really good tracks. It's kind of like
the art style we were talking about Echo Generation, right? But it's just got a really cool look to it. I love it.
Yeah, yes, yeah. You're a bit of a car guy, aren't you? So you play many racing games, Ains, or
Yeah, obviously. I'm a car guy. Yeah.
Don't just look at them, you play. Yeah.
I play racing games in real life.
Yeah, I love it. You got a Formula One track outside your house. Love it. Yeah, no, I definitely recommend check out Art of Rally, guys. It is a really good, really well designed game. Like the mechanics and the feel of the physics, the racing is really nicely done. So awesome. Yeah, definitely awesome one to shout out there. And just quickly, if you don't mind, just one more, just do quickly, is Omno, which is a really cool sort of like journey-like kind of game, I would say. It's kind of low poly again. It's coming to Game Pass. It was in one of the sizzle reels, I do believe, this time.
It was shown,
yeah. So that one is on Steam at the moment. It as a sort of demo on Steam if you did want to check it out there, but it will be coming to Game Pass. So I'm really excited to see that, and it just looks like a really nice sort of like serene kind of experience, relaxing kind of experience, like Journey was an amazing game. And yeah, like again, that's from a guy who's worked as an animator in movies as well, and as an animator previously, and it's a solo, and he's now become a solo developer to work on Omno, and it looks great. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Very cool, man. Very cool. Glad to have your insight on it.
My pleasure, my friend. Thanks for the opportunity.
No worries. All right, let's. We got a cool announcement this week that I didn't expect. We're starting to see more video game shows and movies. The success of Witcher. I think we talked about this early last year. The success of Witcher on Netflix is going to make more things happen. We've got a Last of Us show coming to HBO. We've got Uncharted movie coming next year, and now we've got Ghost of Tsushima in production, and most kind of impressive to me of all is Chad I don't want to pronounce his name wrong. Stahelski, yeah. It's like Stahelski. It's not Stahelski, it's Stahelski. Yeah.
Stahelski.
Yeah. Gotcha. From John Wick is where we're going with this. The director of John Wick is tapped to direct this movie. Sucker Punch Productions is involved in it, along with obviously Sony Entertainment and everyone else involved, but it's likely a long way out. Like I said, Uncharted is coming next year, and John Wick 4, which Chad is directing, is only to begin shooting soon. So if he's starting a different movie soon, you know that this one's a ways out. Regardless, the potential here, guys, man. I mean, I know I've talked about Ghost of Tsushima not being my absolute favorite game, but if you think about it from a movie perspective and what they could do with that, it's just like the mind kind of reels, right? Yeah. I know, Dan, it's one of your faves, so this had to be exciting.
Yeah, it's cool. As long as like Scarlett Johansson doesn't play Jin, I think we'll be good to go. So that's really the only thing we need to avoid. But I would love to see and say that like Daisuke Tsuji would be, the guy who played Jin would be.
I think that's who everybody wants.
Obviously everybody wants him because that's him. He looks exactly like him. Yeah. So. Yeah, if they can pull that off, fantastic. Maybe make him a big action star or something. You got potential there. You got John Wick director. I love those movies. They were super fun to watch.
I watched John Wick last night. No joke.
No, they're great.
They're great.
So the problem is I still haven't gotten a video game movie that was actually good. So until, Uncharted, I think will maybe be that one. Like Mortal Kombat, they'll be out here.
Don't get me started on Johnny Cage.
I'm not even going to talk about it because it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah,
my expectations are super low.
That's a fun popcorn movie. That's not meant to be a good movie, if you will.
I think Uncharted will kind of give us an idea of what
especially with
they can
Tom
pull off.
Holland.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the big actor now, and we'll see what happens.
If anyone can do when Uncharted comes out, this is an ask of the community. If anyone can, when that comes out, leave Tom Holland alone. He's good. If you could do a deep fake to get rid of Mark Wahlberg, the entire movie.
Oh yeah.
Just make Sully someone else. You could.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
You could throw a dart and hit someone more qualified to play Sully. So just pick someone. I don't care who it is. Just deep fake the whole movie for me and send it to me. I will pay you, please, because then I'll be able to watch it.
God, it's gonna be so bad.
I love Uncharted. Tom Holland is awesome, and I'm like, how of all the people that could have played Sully, did you land on Mark fucking Wahlberg? Like, are you kidding me? Anyway, sorry. That's the track. That's a whole nother topic.
I agree. I'm never a fan of his, I have to say.
But anyway. So Ghost of Tsushima movie. Indy, did you play this? Did you play Ghost? Did you care for it? Any thoughts here?
No, I'm afraid I haven't played it, but it definitely looks a game that I would play. It's not on PC yet, is it? I haven't got a PlayStation.
No.
When it comes over, then I will definitely be looking into it. But that's the only thing I don't play really is PlayStation. Not anything against PlayStation gamers.
Mr. Badbet's going to get you.
I play on PC most of these days, to be honest, and sometimes I'll go onto the Xbox. But yeah, essentially PC is Xbox these days. But anyways, yeah, Ghost of Tsushima looks fantastic. I mean, like I said, I like martial arts movies. I like all that stuff, so it plays into that. But yeah, there's a movie. Is the movie confirmed? Sorry, this is definitely.
Oh, it's happening. Yeah, they had a formal announcement on Thursday.
Nice.
Sony Interactive Entertainment and, like I said, Sucker Punch Productions. Director's already tapped. So yeah, I mean, this is coming.
Yeah, that is cool. It is cool. I mean, it would be a kind of interesting film. Like, they have to do it classily, I guess. Though it's not the kind of film they usually would take on. Like, it's quite a spiritual kind of game, isn't it? It's not like a Mortal Kombat or something. You know what I mean?
No, this could be a quite serious film. And
exactly.
I just Brian Otano over at IGN had a great comment yesterday, which was, please give us a version where we can watch it in black and white. I was like, that would be badass. Like,
they will.
Yeah, hopefully. If they know what they're doing.
Turn the color down.
If Sucker Punch has anything to say about it, man.
By the way, I've fresh reports coming in. Scarlett Johansson is going to play Jin. So.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't even surprise me at this point.
They do seem to have weird castings at the time. I don't think they're going to get that weird.
You never know.
Yeah.
No, she'll play. Was it Yuri? Not Yuri. Was that her name? I can't remember. Yeah.
Oh, the main woman. I forget her name too. Badbit will know. Badbit, tell us who the main.
Mark Wahlberg casting is a little bit concerning, in my opinion, though. I have to say. So he's been confirmed, has he? Or
he's Sully. Yeah.
Oh, that's,
they've already shot. They finished shooting, didn't they? Or they're near.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's slightly concerning, but you never know. Yeah,
Lady Misako.
No, that's old. That's the old lady. I'm talking about.
Yeah, he means the younger one.
Yeah. No, that's that. No, come on now.
All right.
I mean, she ain't that old, ScarJo. She can, she can still rock it.
ScarJo can do whatever the hell she wants.
Yeah, she can.
So do you guys think it's a good thing in general doing movies of games? Like, it's always been bad execution. Do you think it's just down to that, or you think there's a possibility that we might be getting some good game movies now? Sorry to take the question over.
No, it's a good question. It's a good question. I think good ones are coming. I think I've said this a long time ago, is that when comic movies had that resurgence, right? And it's been years, obviously now, but we look at what the MCU did and the success they've had. I think you will get more video game movies, and they will figure out how to do them successfully. I think you also have to temper expectations, because you have those ones that try to take, for instance, we know Last of Us is coming as a show, a series. Mm-hmm. And the big question is always, is that just going to be basically the first game, in TV format, or do they try and tell another story? We know Halo's coming, right? And Master Chief is in it. But it's not just going to be the campaign from the game. And I think they need to figure out better ways of telling meaningful stories that are unique, that aren't necessarily the same story as the game. I think if you just go in and try to recreate a campaign of a game in movie form, you're failing.
Well, Druckmann came out this week and said that it basically is going to be the first game, but also changing several aspects.
Yeah, like that timeline. It's
right.
happening.
I think that's a fair balance because you don't want to destroy the core, characters of the game and the whole story, because it has to kind of be the same.
Like Johnny Cage.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like, having a Johnny Cage in it. Well, they're saving him for later.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But yeah, it's like, I mean, Chief's probably not a good example because Chief is not this highly emotional character, right? But I mean, if you go into the Last of Us show and Joel and Ellie don't feel like Joel and Ellie, that's the hardest thing. They're especially for people like me, and I'm not alone, of course. Joel and Ellie are a certain way. And if you can't capture that essence of what they are, it's going to ruin the show for me.
Yep.
Yeah, totally agree.
Unsavory.
Hashtag unsavory. Yeah.
Hashtag unsavory.
So anyway, just to wrap up on Ghost of Tsushima, this is awesome. I can't wait to see what they do. I hope it's, I hope they have good budget. They hire the right people, cast the right people, please. Mark Wahlberg, don't even think about calling him. He's busy. And we'll see what happens when this releases.
Yeah, I think he's opened a couple restaurants that week. So.
Real quick, and I mean real quick, I just wanted to comment on this because it is important long term, although there's not much to say about it, is that Amazon Games has opened a new development studio for first party game development in Montreal. I looked, I don't believe it has like a studio kind of core name yet, but it is going to be led by 4 different leaders from Ubisoft that did Rainbow Six Siege. Including like the creative director, some significant people from that team. So the only reason I wanted to bring this up, one, it's news, so I want to talk about it. But 2 is that, there's been obviously everything going on with Stadia, them shutting down first party and everything. But Amazon is one of these sleeping giants in the gaming industry. And as big as gaming has gotten now, and as big as it is overtaking music and movies and basically swallowing up everything, which is great. Realistically speaking, the gaming industry is in its infancy. It's still a very young industry compared to other things. And there's still a tremendous amount of growth that's going to occur. And if you look at any of the companies that could have a huge impact on a quicker time scale than most, Amazon is one of them. I mean, everybody in the world knows Amazon. They have Twitch. They have obviously everyone's attention with Prime, and they're just, everyone uses Amazon, even if you don't like them. So if they really do, they're obviously thinking long term here with Luna, right? But I just wanted to bring this up because I found it interesting, and I wouldn't doubt them. People kind of like, Google tried and failed. Well, they haven't failed yet, even though they're not doing well. But Amazon could be a very, very big player here, and they have the infrastructure and obviously the money to compete. So,
they can just take a stab at anything. I just hope that they don't do what Google did to the developers.
Agree.
You got a lot of guys probably,
even though they kind of already did because they shut down their other first party studio.
So I don't know what they're going for here. If they're going for a multi-platform.
Sorry. They did say it's a new IP.
Well, I know. But is it going to be exclusive to Luna?
Oh, they didn't say.
Yeah, they didn't say that. So are they going to, if they're just going like, for as a publisher and putting this out here, that's one thing. You're setting up. I think if you've got an exclusive game, unless within the next 3 or 4 years that thing just explodes for some reason, and who the hell knows? I have no idea. Maybe it will. Maybe the cloud gaming will get a lot bigger and the streaming gaming and stuff like that. But you got to make sure people know about it. I'm not sure a ton of people do.
I told someone the story the other day of you asking the Google Fiber installer about Stadia and him not knowing what it is.
No idea.
Like, how does that even happen?
No clue. That's the thing. And they've got the service. AWS is freaking huge, so and they've got the power to do all this stuff. I preach about this, but if you're not aware, AWS is Amazon Web Services. Their cloud infrastructure is the biggest in the world. It's number one. It's huge.
Microsoft
I think 2 years ago,
them,
it was 4 times bigger than any other.
A few years ago it was.
Yeah, a few years ago it was. Yeah, it was like, and that's insane. So, yeah, you've got the ability, you've got the money, like you said. It's just come on and do it. I mean, just give me something good.
Well, who knows if Google floundering like they have will kind of show Amazon what not to do.
No, it won't, because nobody ever pays attention to everything else that's happening in the industry. It just blows my mind. It blows my mind, but whatever.
Oh man, Andy, you got anything on this, man?
No, so they've got four leaders. Did you say of this studio at the
Four
moment?
that came from Rainbow Six Siege, yeah, specifically.
Yeah. So they look at aspirations to make a big studio here, are they?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like this is going to be a big studio with a big multiplayer IP, and I mean, Rainbow Six Siege is massive, right? So we'll see what they can do. But I've got it right here on the site. It's almost like I run a site where I could pull this information from. So Luc Bouchard, who is head of production, Xavier Marquis, who is creative director, Alexander Remy, who is head of product, and Romain Remak, I believe, was content director. So as you can see, as I name their titles, they've got production, game direction, product development, and content direction. So they've kind of got the leaders here they need to build that out.
Great.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, it'd be interesting how it pans out. I mean, yeah. I mean, they I can tell. I definitely see what you mean by they have power. The sleeping giant is a great way of putting it. They could be very strong if they were to put the mind to it. But they've got to win over a lot of people, I think, first. But it's encouraging people to play. If you're talking about a platform here, you're talking about them maybe making a platform of their own. Is that what you're sort of hinting towards?
Yeah, I mean, they have Luna, which is their cloud streaming. Now it's obviously very, very small right now. It's more of a beta than anything, but
so small I forgot about it.
No, that's fine, and that's the point, right?
Yeah.
But that's what Dan's alluding to, is this going to be something where they use it to try and build Luna out, or they put it on Luna and then they become like a third-party publisher, which is a whole different conversation.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it's interesting. It'll be interesting to keep an eye on it. But yeah, sorry, I haven't got too much on that one.
No, you're fine. I just want to mention it. Like I said, we didn't have to stay on it. Pat, by the way, from our friends over at Midweek Mix Up, what's going on, brother? Love the merch you guys have on Season Gaming. Thank you, man. Appreciate
Definitely.
that. Good to see you in here. And Rodimus is firing shots for Kong vs. Godzilla. We got that coming this week.
That's this week, yeah.
That's this week, man. It's supposed to be a blast. I've read some of the people who had early access to it, and they said it's just a fun movie.
That's all you need.
He said, if you think that King Kong, here we go. I love this, because is Leo still here? I don't know if Leo's still here, because Leo is Mr. King Kong. But if you think that King Kong is on the same level as Godzilla, where Godzilla gets recharged by a nuclear bomb and King Kong can get hurt by gasoline, Hollywood will sell us anything. Get him. Godzilla. I'm Team Godzilla.
Love it.
I have no preference.
I don't really
see him beat the shit out of
I'm just getting in on the fun. I don't care.
Yeah.
All right. So a couple of game updates, and then we'll talk about what we're currently playing as well. I want to hear from you guys on that. So Back for Blood, which we mentioned earlier, was in the Future Game Show. That's been delayed to October 12th. So if you're obviously not familiar from that, it's the spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead. Looks really strong. Looks like it could be one of those, kind of long-term releases. The only weird thing to me, I said on Twitter earlier this week, was October 12th. That's a tough release date, man, because we already talked about it. You're going to be right in the heart of Call of Duty, Battlefield, Halo. Never mind if Forbidden West comes out, or any of the other major games that'll be coming out this fall. That's tough. We also got a little more notes on Aliens. So the Fire Team co-op game that's coming, which I'm hugely interested in, from a canon perspective. So it is Alien canon. It's part of the universe officially. It takes place in 2022, which is 23 years, which is kind of hilarious thinking we're in 2021 right now. But it's 23 years after the events of Aliens and Alien 3. So it's later in that timeline. And they also did comment, but that they're showing it off as a co-op shooter, that kind of 4-player class shooter. But it really heavily leans into the RPG segment. So they kind of, I think they're going to be talking about player building and long-term engagement there.
Nice.
And then lastly, Outriders. Outriders comes next week. Big release, probably the first kind of big release over the past few months. I know lots of people are pumped about that one, especially now that it's in Game Pass console at launch. But they released their preload is going live. They released patch notes, including the day one patch notes details already. You can find all of those on our site. And the global launch times as well. It is not a midnight global launch. It's one of those where it's like different times everywhere. So if you want to know when you can play it, look it up, because it's not just midnight on that Thursday or whatever. Okay, enough talking for me. What have you guys been up to, man? Indy, what you been playing? What's interesting right now?
Well, to be honest, there's been so much content going around the world at the moment, and I've been making plans for that, doing the streams and also making videos, which is a sad thing, really.
It takes a lot of time.
It does, doesn't it? Fitting it all in is quite tricky, but you got to love it though. Obviously, absolutely love doing all the content, but you got to remember to have a game every so often if you're going to do a gaming YouTube channel on that. But no, to be honest, Ghost Runner is the game I've been playing. Probably it's mostly in my most recent memory.
That was Mo's game of the year. Mo loved that game.
Oh, nice, good stuff. Yeah, it's absolutely awesome, my friend. I think you'd enjoy it if you haven't tried. But yeah, it's pretty hard as nails, but in a good way. It's fast paced. You've got to plan your sort of routes. Obviously, it's cyberpunk world, slasher game, first person. If you haven't seen it already, the visuals are stunning. It's super high adrenaline, if you know what I mean. You feel like you're pumped when you're playing it. You know what I mean? And you're kind of you're basically reacting to everyone's shots, so you're sort of side strafing and stuff. There's abilities where you can slow down time a little bit or fast slash and stuff like that. But if you die, it's a one hit kill, so if you get hit once you die, and then you come back instantly though, so don't let that put you off. And Shizno Elite is a big fan of Ghost Runner 2, so shout out to him again.
I can see it.
We've talked about that a few times.
Well, they have, because I know Mo is as well, like I said, and he said that the Series X, S, and PS5 next gen updates are coming later this year for it too.
Yeah, I'm waiting on that. I've got the game. I played a little bit of it, and I really want that 60 FPS. I mean, it runs pretty good.
120.
I would never. I don't want to ever see it. I'm telling you,
we got a PC elitist in the house.
I never want to see it, because if I see it, then my PS5 is garbage.
Well, who knows? I mean, the Series X has a bunch of games running 120 already, so it may.
You never know. Yeah, I'm playing. And the other thing as well, I always say this to people: if they often the TV. If you're not rocking that or whatever, you can change your TV to 1440 and get the higher frame rate. If your TV hasn't got that, you've probably both got mega TVs anyway that have got 200 hertz or plus or whatever. But some people are rocking their 60 hertz TV and they're being held back by that. Because they think, but sometimes if you drop that 4K to 1440, your TV will actually be able to do 120, if you see what I mean, at 1440.
Yeah, gotcha.
So just a little thing I like to say to people. But anyway, on PC I'm playing Ghost Runner. I'm playing at 1440p, so if you want to get above me on that, you can. But I'm happy on 1440p.
That's what I play my PC games at.
Yeah,
it's 1440. That's the sweet spot on PC.
That's exactly what I always say. It's the sweet spot, 1440p. I've got a 144 hertz monitor, so and then if I can get up to 144 hertz on a game, I will. But Ghost Runner I could get about 120 max at 1440 and high settings. So I haven't got the beastiest, but I was pretty happy with that. And highly recommend checking out Ghost Runner, because it really does make you feel like if you want to run and you're on a combo, slashing people down. You do feel that electrifying sort of adrenaline rush feel, and it does that really well. But it can get tough at points, but like you say, instant respawn and you're back in, and you can just plan your routes. Where I'll try that a bit differently. It's kind of like a bit of a slight bit of puzzle element in there, in that fact, the way you have to think about, maybe I'm going to take him down first, then slide here, and then. But I just love it. Check out Ghost Runner. It is a hidden gem in my opinion.
It's really good.
Shizno says it's already 4K 60 on the consoles, Dan.
Is it?
Nice.
Maybe that's why I thought it looked super good.
There you go.
I think I got it for I think it was on sale on the PlayStation, so I bought it over there. But
awesome.
So I mean, it's fun. But it's hard.
It is definitely hard.
Yeah, and some of it is just man, I don't like how the buttons are mapped, so I have to remap those immediately. It was just with the shoulder buttons and stuff. But now it's I can do this. So it's a super good game.
Did you remap them?
I did a remap. Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I was tempted for sure. I was sometimes I think I'm going to remap them, but then I think they must have chosen it for a reason that way. And then, you know what I mean? And then you sort of learn it.
Yeah, I mean I did it really early because I knew if I tried to do it halfway through, I was like, no, there's no chance. But once you kind of get to where you need to be, I mean, I think they keep adding a little bit here and there. So it's one of those games that I kind of go in and play. It's like, I need a break. I'm gonna try something.
Yeah, it's a good one to do like that.
Yeah, I believe Bo said he died he finished the game. I think he said he died 1,800 times, something like that.
I'll pass
that's
that
expected.
by a long time.
Yeah, I'll probably be at 2,500 by the time I beat it. I remember when I played, when I beat Celeste, I was like something like that number, like over 1,000 deaths, I think, on Celeste. When that's a hard game as well. You die a lot on that.
That is hard. Yeah, I did in Celeste. I did that. Remember, there's that hidden level, which is even further 8-bit. Which is ultra difficult. It's like a hidden world you can go into. That thing was crazy.
Do you beat that one? Because I actually still have to get back to that one. I can't really claim I've actually fully beaten it, but it's a hidden level, isn't it? Sort of thing. So.
I've beaten that. I didn't beat the whole Celeste game, but I beat that.
Oh, okay. So you did that insteed. You just like the hardcore.
That is harder than the normal game.
Yeah, because I did try it, I think, and I was like, maybe I'll come back to
it. It's hard. For me, I love those. I love challenging games.
You like your hard, which is awesome. You like Dark Souls, you beat Cuphead. I respect you. Both of you guys.
100%. 100%.
I know, I never beat Cuphead. I can't. I got past the carrot, I think, and then
the carrot.
Fair enough.
By the way, Bad Bit's taking a shot at PC, guys. 1440p Minesweeper is crazy.
1440. I honestly don't notice any difference between 1440p on this monitor in front of me right now, and I go and play in the lounge. I don't feel like it's a cutback in any way, because the frames are so much better. It's just frames for the win.
Dan, what you been up to, man? Playing anything good?
Yeah, I've been on a DLC kick. So the new Outer Worlds stuff came out. So I'm playing that.
It's good.
Yeah, I think it's way better than the other one that came out. This one's more like murder mystery kind of thing.
Nice.
It's not super long, which is fine, because I kind of got my fill. And then, but it was really good. I love that game. It's hilarious. The whole, every conversation you have is funny. So you really, it takes a long time in that you really have to go through the conversations if you want to enjoy it. As far, the gameplay is fantastic, as it always has been. It looks great with the update, 4K 60 or whatever it is. That's 60. I don't even know what the hell the resolution is. I don't care, because that's where it's at. Looks awesome. I've been playing the Immortals new DLC.
Okay, yeah.
So that one's now I've realized what they can do to make that series go on further is just, okay, we were at, the Greek gods. We did all that. Now they've kind of gone to a Japan style. I can't remember exactly what it was called, but so now they're going through that whole thing. Now they could, if they wanted to, I think, just move over to the Norse mythology for the next game, full game. That would see that as a full game and just kind of see what that's like. Because this one, you get everything super early, which is nice, instead of having to, grind forever. But it's fantastic. Still super good. This is much, much better again than the previous DLC, which was mostly puzzles and a couple little things. I didn't like it that much. In fact, I stopped playing it after a little bit. I was like, this is not what I wanted more of. This is what I wanted more of. The new stuff that they just released, a little bit of story, some new areas to explore, and it's pretty big for what you got. Actually, go figure. I bought it on the PlayStation, even though I had it on the X. But
here we go.
Hold on. Let me explain myself.
Here we go.
Let me explain myself. It was $30 for the season pass, right? At one point. When I went to buy the first one, I ended up buying, it would have been $30. So it was on sale on PlayStation for $40. So I was like, well, I can just own it on both systems. I play 10 extra bucks. And I play through it on there. It runs the same way. It doesn't really matter,
But you spent $10 extra to play to own it on both systems. But why would you ever play it on both systems?
Why would I do? I play Control on both systems. Just if I'm sitting there, digital, mind you, if I'm just sitting there and I'm like, hey, I want to play Control. If I'm playing on my X or my PlayStation, I can just hit a button and I'm there. I'm playing Control or Immortals now for $10.
So you're literally telling us right now that you spent $10.
Yes.
So you didn't have to turn on a different console.
Yes. And go and pick up my controller.
You, sir.
It's
Have reached
excess.
new levels of
It's
complacency.
excess, and I
That's
don't even care.
indulgence.
Don't even
The
care.
indulgent lifestyle.
I love it, and I can do it, so that's I'm going to do it. And that's it.
Well, the
and-
game
opulent
publishers
life.
love you. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm supporting it. And thanks, Ubisoft. Guess what? All my stuff just transferred over to my PlayStation. All my save games, everything, right there. All I have to do.
Is it sad that Ubisoft is doing game saves better than PlayStation?
Yes, it's insane. So all I had to do was load up my Xbox One real quick, make sure there was an online save for it. Literally booted up the PlayStation version, hit a button, and I had all my stuff. So
by the way, Badbit is over here being racist. Stop it.
Yeah. I got Scarlett Johansson money, bitch.
Whoa.
Let's do this. No, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't want to do that. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I've also been playing Monster Hunter World. Now, here's the thing about that game. I haven't bought it yet.
Good.
Okay, have not bought it yet because I didn't realize that there was an extended demo. Right, like the demo changed. So when I went to actually buy it, I was like, oh.
You said Monster Hunter World. Did you mean Rise?
Rise. I'm sorry, Rise.
Okay.
No, I own World on 3 different platforms.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah. No, but I went Rise. Yeah, Monster Hunter, the new Monster Hunter game. I went and played the new demo. And it's so hard to go from a next-gen console to the stunning 480 20 FPS of the Switch. It looks so bad. And
I knew that was going to be a problem for you. We talked about it last week.
I didn't think it was going to be. I thought it was like, oh, no problem. The gameplay is still solid. They've added a lot of cool things, but it's not like it's Monster Hunter World on kind of redone for the Switch.
Yeah,
it's a game it's a whole new game. It's got new experiences and stuff, and it just. Man, it's hard to go back and jump onto a really
jarring.
slow ass. Oh, it's jarring, especially when you can get on Monster Hunter World on like the Xbox and it's 4K 60 technically, even though graphically Monster Hunter is not great.
Preach it.
It's not great, but the gameplay is so solid.
You could have actually inserted any other word for graphically there, and it still would have worked.
No. I love the gameplay. So I started playing some of the demo with the hunts and stuff. I was like, oh, I'm right back in the saddle. This is very, very familiar. It just looks very, very poor and it's hard to play. So that's my biggest gripe with it right now. So will I buy it? Of course I will. But at this point, there's so much coming out.
Yeah.
Not that I'm going to wait for a sale from fucking Nintendo because I'll never get it. But it's. I'm still excited to play it, but I'm going to play. I think the last part of the demo. There's like 3 different monsters, or the difficulty levels, or whatever it is. So it's hard, man. I mean, I didn't realize it was going to be this difficult, and it is because I've been spoiled. Basically, is the problem.
We do need Ains facepalm emote, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Elu's doing our review for us here in the chat. Everyone knows him.
Yes.
So Elu is actually reviewing that for us.
Good.
Which is cool.
Nice.
I'm glad.
Yeah, I told him his review scale is 1 through 4.5, so he can use any of that scale for the game.
It's probably like I feel like it's one of those games like for the hardcore Monster Hunter guys, it's going to be awesome.
Sure.
And I think it seems like it's a little bit more accessible for, especially in the beginning with the tutorials and stuff. From what I play on the demo, I feel like that's going to be, it's going to be a little bit better for them. But the problem is, if you're looking at guys that are looking for that next gen experience, this is not the game for you.
Well, yeah.
But for what it is and what Monster Hunter has always been, it's a very, very solid game. And that's just in the demo that I played. So,
well, and Monster Hunter was always big on the DS too. So now that you're replacing that with a Switch, I can see people spending a lot of time with it, which is cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
At least there's good ways to communicate with each other in this solid co-op game.
So I mean, I'm not going to talk again about games I've talked before, like Division, and I'm playing through Halo. I beat Reach, and so going to be moving on to Halo CE for my stream, which I've beaten countless times. So that'll be fun just to go through it one more. But I did try a couple new games on Game Pass this week, which I'll mention. I posted about one, Empire of Sin, which is the real-time strategy kind of city building, not city building, but it's got a much deeper than just strategy. Yeah, because you're building out characters and loot and economies and this stuff. But it's like 1930 Chicago gangster era, and it's really neat. Really neat. It's actually far deeper than I anticipated. I beat the tutorial's pretty long. You do kind of like 3 missions. Beat that and kind of went through it a little bit, and really enjoying it so far. It plays super smooth, and if I wanted to check that out when it first launched, but just too many games, and so
that's really Game good Pass to hear, because I think I heard mixed reports on it. I don't know if you've heard any of that, or I think I've heard a few people to the positive and some to the negative, and that's great to hear because I trust you, my friend. So.
I would definitely check it out. I was trying to see. I don't know how it reviewed generally, but I mean, it's neat. It's like I said, far deeper than I thought. Like when you first started, you pick your kind of protagonist or the guy you want to be, and I figured there'd be like 3. There's like 12.
Wow.
So there's just a lot to it. But it's neat. Different weaponry and armor, and it's also then the combat is very similar to XCOM, Gears Tactics, that top-down kind of isometrical view.
Nice,
so,
I mean, cool style, isn't it, as well? The gangster thing.
It is. Cool. It is. So, I mean, it's the beauty of Game Pass, right? Like, I would not have played that game if not for Game Pass.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, perfect example.
Yeah. So, that one's really cool. And then I also played honestly, probably the most bizarre game I've played in. I don't know the last one I could even compare it to, but Genesis Noir.
Oh yeah, I played that. Yeah.
Okay. So
you go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So weird game. Very, very different from anything you would normally play. But also kind of interesting and intriguing. So I'm only about an hour into it, maybe. I don't know if I'm going to continue, but again, it's on Game Pass. Figured I'd try it. Look cool, has a cool art style.
Really
and it's definitely. What are your thoughts on it? How much have you played it?
I actually didn't play that much of it because I played it with it when I did a stream back in the Steam Festival not too long ago. What I did was for fun, I did as many indie games in one stream as possible, if you see what I mean.
Okay.
So I streamed multiple, like 6 indie games in one stream or something, so I could cover some from the festival, and that was one of the ones. So I didn't actually stream it for that long. It was probably about 25 minutes or 20 minutes maybe. So probably didn't give it the fair crack that it deserves, but I've had my eye on it for ages because of the art style is very striking, and you know what it is when you see it. That's Genesis. That really stands out as an individual, a unique game kind of thing. And I really like the music, sort of it, the way they've got music in the game, like it's like about, and the sort of concept of it being like about the Big Bang and stuff like that as well, isn't it? It's kind of it's quirky and interesting, like you say. You've explained it well. The mechanics I found from when I played it, I didn't quite get into them that well, but I might have been doing something wrong. Like I say, it was a different kind of stream to normal. It was kind of like, let's get as many indie games featured as possible kind of thing. So
it's a weird mix. It kind of starts like you feel like it's going to be almost kind of that gangsterish thing. Because you start the game by just selling watches out of a trench coat to people, and then all of a sudden you go to like this space world platform where you're planting seeds that are the foundation of the universe, and it's just
nice.
I'm telling
you, psychedelic.
It's out there, man. And it's also half a puzzle game because like as you plant seeds and do other things, you have to figure out how to get it to work, and each one's different, and just very, very interesting. If you want just a really different game and different type of experience, Genesis Noir, check it out on Game Pass.
It's definitely worth a look, and I respect you for checking out those indies, my friend.
Always, man, always. I love it. I just love games, man. I play everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
A real quick shout out to the Avengers game. I've also been playing that DLC.
Okay.
It's gotten better.
Okay.
But it's still trash.
You had that, but
no, it's like I was talking to Mike from Backlog Chronicles, and we were
he's like a huge fan of that game.
Fan of it. He's been there, ride or die since the beginning. So I respect that. But I've been trying to get in a little bit more, it's still very, very grindy with its endgame. But the DLC is, if you're a fan of the Avengers and you have $10 to $15, if it comes down to that price, 100% you should buy it because
too damn high.
That's actually the perfect price for it. Unless it comes to Game Pass, then it'll be even more perfect. That would be it. But I mean, it's with the extra stuff. Still waiting on Spider-Man. Thank you very much. But I just wanted to shout it out because I've actually been enjoying myself with it. It's been pretty fun.
Cool. So. Very cool. Shizno says here too, I hope someone picks up Typhoon games since Google's closed them because Journey to the Savage Planet is so good. It is. Journey to the Savage Planet is a fantastic game.
Yeah,
no
doubt.
Yeah. Let me shout out some things real quick, as I always do, guys. If you've enjoyed the show, please hit a like and let us know. We really, really appreciate it. It's great to see everyone here on a weekly basis. And if you're one of those that listens to us later or catches us when we're not live, thank you so much. Really love seeing the kind of analytics and all the different people that watch us from all over the world, or listen to us, from all over the world. So thank you very much. A couple things to shout out. So Dan's headset review of the Xbox wireless headset has been up on the channel since last week. He has recorded the comparison video against. Remind me, Dan, what other two headsets are you comparing it against?
It was the two Steel Series, the Steel Series 7X, Arctis 7X, which is a little bit higher dollar one, and then the Arctis ones for the Xbox.
Yes, that's
right. The comparative price range. Yeah, gotcha. Price range.
Yep. Okay. So that comparison will be up on a channel probably Monday, very early in the week. So take a look at that. We also, me, Mr. Badbit here, who I don't know if still around, along with Luke from Xbox Expansion Pass, started a new separate series this week called Cast Co-op. It's just going to be a bi-weekly have a laugh while talking about game show. Nothing serious. It's not a weekly podcast. It's not your typical gaming news. We already all do that, right? So check that out if you get time. It is going to be published on the Season Gaming YouTube channel. Nice. And it is in audio form as well. We've got it up on Spotify and Amazon right now. Google's coming, of course. Some others are coming. Apple, good God. I hope it's coming at some point if they get their crap together.
They've heard you slagging them off.
Yeah. We've got reviews coming this week, too. Obviously, we just said Elu's reviewing Monster Hunter Rise. We have Ryan's review, or you may know him as Cloud online over at GPTP. He's reviewed Paradise Lost, another indie game.
Good. That's good, the game.
Yeah, so that's going to be up anytime now. Just got to get it published. And Steve also published an article as part of our Good in Gaming series, this thing, called Gaming with Anxiety, where he actually talked about his own experience with trying to game in co-op and play Destiny raids and kind of be part of a group with the anxiety he has. So it's a very, very good article, very kind of insightful, and I think a lot of people can relate to it. So check that out.
Definitely.
Halo Championship, Game & Beyond the Box. They've been going for weeks now. The championship, literally, if you're watching with us live here, I know you already know this. So if you're listening to this later, this is no good because we're about to go live literally in less than 2 hours. It's 4 p.m. Central on Saturday, the 27th, as we're recording this. So, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's us, the Season Gaming crew, me, Jordan, Pat Man, who is a Halo content creator and a big fan of ours, and our friend Puma for Season Gaming against the Green Pass Gaming crew, and we're going to be playing that shortly. If you're listening to this later and you happen to miss it, I am streaming it, so you can find it on my Twitch feed. Oh, man, I feel like a Micro Machines auction over here. So finally, the last thing to shout out is this is episode 147, so we are 3 weeks away from our 150th episode. We're looking forward to that. We'll try to do something special for it. We've got a new intro, and we're going to kind of touch up some things for the Bitcast, which is coming soon as well. So, Dan, you look like you want to say something, brother.
No, I'm good, man. I'm excited for 150, man. I think we should get tattoos and do it like just this is 150, like SG 150,
just
like right across.
Not even SG or Bitcast, just 150.
Well, yeah, that way, I guess then, I mean, if you ever stop doing this or something, then you can just be like, this is what I'm shooting for in age. Or
I used to weigh 150.
This is what my one left titty weighs is 150, so wherever it's at, we got to do something cool. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
That's brilliant.
So, that's a few weeks away.
On that, guys. That's something. That's a good number.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's hard to believe, quality. Honestly.
Quality as well as quantity, though.
Nice. Yes, absolutely. So, we're going to get wrapped up. So, Indy, man, where can people find you? What are you up to?
Thanks again for having me on. Firstly, it's been an absolute pleasure hanging with you guys. I think a lot of you do great work on Season Gaming on the channel as well as the website. Awesome stuff, really.
Thank you.
And the work you do as well. With the promoting, not promoting it, but like sharing awareness for anxiety and all that sort of stuff. That is, to me that. I have quite a lot of experience with all that sort of stuff myself, so it really does. It really is awesome to see people doing that kind of thing, like yourself. It's amazing, and it really it empowers people to, soldier on themselves sometimes when they might be hiding themselves away. There's probably people even watching this today who are hiding maybe and not, I don't want to put in the chat or anything like that. I don't want to write. I did that for a while, actually. Watching the show, they don't want to chat, I'm nervous or whatever. But then maybe they're bringing about their skin, etc. But yeah, just a big respect to you for doing all you do. It's awesome stuff, my friend. But yeah, thanks for having me on. And if you did want to find me for some indie goodness, that is what we do on my channel. Cover indie games, spread the love for them. And my channel on YouTube is The Indie Gamer, which is YouTube/The Indie Gamer, all one word. And I'm on Twitter as well, which is indie_gamer_01. But yeah, like I say, it would be absolute pleasure to have you if you fancied dropping by the channel or chatting some games on Twitter. It's all about sharing the love for games that are often going under the radar, and just ultimately sharing some good fun times for some cool smaller developers, really. But yeah, thanks again for having me, guys. You both rock, and it's always a pleasure.
Yeah, man. Thanks for being on. It was awesome.
Yeah, pleasure having you on. As we always say, with gentlemen like yourself, it won't be the last time.
Thank you very much. Very kind.
Yeah, so thank you for jumping in. Your insight on a lot of the indie stuff we talked about with ID at Xbox and Future Game Show was awesome. And yeah, I appreciate the shout out for Good in Gaming and the stuff we're doing. You kind of made a pertinent comment, which was, I always say on my streams, I don't say it so much here, I guess I should, but if there are people, we have 30, 40, 50 people in the watching live at sometimes, and maybe 15 to 20 chatting, which goes to say there are people just kind of sitting in or listening in the background. So I would certainly hope that our community well enough, people who watch the show regularly, to know that this is what I think, and I'm not just saying this because it's our community, but one of the most welcoming communities. You will not find a bad bit, maybe.
Very good.
You won't find a bad apple here in our chat. And even if there was one, we don't put up with it, honestly. So please always feel free to hang out with the crew here, because we are very welcoming and very open to just hanging out and chatting. So
awesome.
Really appreciate it. Darge coming in right at the buzzer.
Hey.
Yeah, good to see you, brother Darge.
Legend. How you doing, bro? I just want to say your final add-on to my final sign-off there is good luck tonight, but I also wish good luck to my good friends, the Green Pass, because you're both friends to me. So, but just good luck for a good match is what I say.
That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and mute you now.
Luck to both of you guys.
Yeah, but I am off to actually get some food so that I can be prepared for this match here. So please tune in to the Halo Championship. Yeah, no doubt. So I'll be live on my streaming on my Twitch here 4 p.m. Central, and which is an hour and 45 from now. That's twitch.tv/Porsche Power, just my handle on Twitter. So please stop by, and I'm actually going to promote here in a minute that anyone who does any bits or subs, they already all go to Extra Life from a charity donation standpoint, but I'm going to match those today. So anything I get will be doubled this afternoon. So feel free to stop by and let's kick some ass at Halo and help some children at the same time. It's the way we do it around here.
Awesome.
So cool. All right, man. That was a
Fantastic.
fun episode, guys. That was Bitcast 147. Andy, thanks again, brother.
Thank you so much.
I will talk to you guys soon. We'll be online. I'll be streaming here again in an hour and 45. So we'll talk to you guys soon. For everyone tuning in or listening, thank you so much for supporting us, and we will see you next week. Peace.